Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Long Beach by Night. My Latin is terrible, I apologize in advance, but the name of the episode is Omnes una Mene Nox. OMNESUNAMANETNOX. So you can assemble that into what you think it means. We have been joined by some very special guest today who I actually will announce last. So I will say we do have our returning champion, Mr. Jake Kyle.
Hi everyone, how are you doing?
The rest of y'all will introduce yourselves on the way around.
Well, I'm D'Artagnan Vitaliano, and I play the ever-loved and magnetic and extremely popular Bliss Lucia.
I don't think any of those words are true except for maybe your name.
That's probably me, that too.
Right.
Hi, I'm Ash Minnick, and I play Vi. She's just a cowgirl.
I'm Sam DeLove. I play Reese Keegan.
I am Melee Damage, and I play Lula Castillo.
I'm Josephine McAdam, and I'm playing Valentina Sartori.
And my name is Alexander Ward, and you'll see who I'm playing.
That's true. Yeah, you're breaking the internet with the suit. I mean, it's a brava. Both of you. I love this look here.
Thanks.
I've got 3 suits.
That's true. That is true. It's a beautiful suit.
It's
No, it's a beautiful, you know what it is?
fine.
It's
You can figure it
against
out.
the background.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
can't see you.
You can't see it.
It's just a
But
floating
it's
head.
incredible. It is incredible. Trust me. If you could see it, it's
That's
amazing.
why I didn't wear my black suit.
I do feel a little underdressed at this table.
but it's very on brand for Vi, though. It's very on brand. Yes, B-Day Walters. Again, these games are in continuity with what we do on the Patreon. So Patreon, Discord. So you might hear us allude to plots and stories you haven't heard. It's because this is a part of a much greater universe of things. And with that, let us get to it. So, last week, you all were approached forcefully by a man who was the representative of, let's just say, the ruling class of Long Beach, who made it very clear that you all had made a mess, you had disrupted business, which are the mortalest of mortal sins, and you were giving an opportunity to essentially perform a small task to help balance the bucks somewhat. You all discovered that there were a group of unseelie fae on the docks of Long Beach that were robbing various crates and just causing mischief, as is their nature, as they're preparing for a very large party coming on Samhain, aka Halloween, aka All Hallows Eve. You all got to go visit with them in their party that they were having last night, as they are wont to do, and you made the acquaintance of King Luminous Dro of the Unseelie Fae. One thing I might have mentioned, or dare I say neglected to mention, is when you woke up, your good friend Vi was missing. And Vi's safe return was contingent on your effectively finishing the mission. So the last time you all saw Joey A, he was in negotiations with the king. A very helpful satyr named Fawn led you all out on a boat, out into the water to a buoy some distance out, where you recovered Vi's body from the bottom of the ocean, staked and in torpor.
What?
That is what happened. So
Mess an episode, buddy.
No, I watched it.
it's true.
I watched it.
That is true.
I mean,
So,
I was in his state.
That was
The
called
stakes are
acting.
high.
It was
Isn't
acting.
acting.
it was literally acting by not knowing what was going on, because Vi didn't, right? Once you retrieved her body from the ocean, and you were not too far at all from this very odd party that was taking place, you all rushed back to St. Valentine's Haven, where you have all regathered now to try and figure out how it is that you were going to wake up your friend. A very soggy, waterlogged, staked Vi lie on the floor in the room with all of you surrounding her. What would you like to do?
So, we've done this before. Is this okay? The first thing we do is take the stake out, right, Lula?
There's that, but we need to give her blood to wake her up.
You're right. She'll be
Stop.
hungry when she wakes up. I want to run out the door and catch a squirrel and come back.
You can give me strength and brawl for this. For your squirrel catching capabilities. Yes. You were correct. You do need blood of higher potency than hers
4 successes.
To wake her up. That is enough. You think the neighborhood squirrels would have heard by now, but no, there's at least one unwitting victim that you're able to snatch out of the tree.
Good. I grab it. I run back in. Okay. Food for when she wakes up.
Yes, that's good. But we need someone old to wake her up. A stronger blood type.
Okay. You're old.
I'll quiz.
Aren't you an old man?
Well, let's see. Dashingly young. But, yes, I think we can try.
You know her from back.
Yes. So, yeah, I want to try to wake her with my blood.
So specifically, you would have to remove the stake first and then give her the blood. Is that the intention? Who is going to take the stake out? And would you like to check anything before you do?
Yeah, I'm going to sense the unseen.
Sense the unseen, wits and aspects. It's never ominous when the storyteller's like, would you like to check for traps? You know?
Yes, I would.
Wonder if anyone ever says no to that. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
exactly. You're like, one success. I'm like, no, it's fine. You don't see anything.
I mean, sometimes you want to be an impulsive boy.
Sometimes.
I am being incredibly controlled right now. Thank you.
We're spending willpower already. I like where this is headed.
For almost absolutely nothing. 4 successes.
4 successes. Also, you all, since this is a continuation of the same night for now, you're at the blood that you were at before until we sleep. 4 successes. You see around Vi's body, there is a grayish black haze. It's almost like there is a smoke hanging around her. There are spectral tendrils coming off of her that trail off into the distance that almost look like puppet strings. They go up through the roof of the house, and you don't know where they go. And around her neck, there is a spectral noose.
Ooh. She's, Vi's got a little, something.
What?
It's, you have to look with your special eyes.
I don't have special eyes.
Just
I know.
use your words.
I can't. It's very, there's like smoke and mist and weird. It's very dark. It's very dark. More doom. Lots more doom.
Oh, God.
Just right here.
I'll take the one.
Can you take a look also?
Yes.
You can roll it. Let's see.
2.
Same thing. It is much easier for you to see
But do
because
I...
you've seen it before. You know exactly what this is. You also see the spectral noose, tendrils, puppet strings.
I see it. Yeah, you're right. Don't know how that got there.
And
Quite
that
curious.
would be...
No, I don't know how that got there. Sorry.
Bullshit.
I wonder if it hurts. We should really probably wake her up and ask.
Okay. I'm going to remove the stake now.
You grab on and it comes out, and it's insulting how deeply this stake was driven all the way down through her. Yeah. And now she lay there with a hole punched clear through her that you can see all the way down to the floor. Otherwise, when you see her body, she just looks like she's sleeping. She's completely calm and composed.
Oh, look at that peaceful thing. I'm just gonna stroke her face just a little bit.
Don't touch her!
Okay.
Your associate who kidnapped her.
We don't.
You two know each other, it's obvious.
Sure. Yeah, no, we know each other.
So I'd like to try to do the old...
Okay?
What is wrong with words at this table?
It's all method. All right? Now, well, if you bite it, you'll be able to lick it and close it. So we'll say you bite a little bit of your own wrist there. And
He would do the sexy option.
exactly. Your hunger increases by 1 in the process of you feeding this to her.
Sick.
And Alquist, you hear that old familiar beast echoing in your ears. Here we are, saving Vi again. Is anyone gonna thank us? No. Does anyone realize that without us, they'd be fucked? No.
Yes. I agree with everything you are saying.
And as the blood makes its way...
It's up 32, by the way.
Yes. As the blood makes its way down your throat and into your body, Vi, you feel the reanimating principle return.
Oh, cool.
And with a jolt, you are back.
Ah!
Hi. Are you okay? You have a hole in you. Do you know how that happens?
Squirrel. Can you talk?
What's going on?
Come on, eat something. Okay.
I was, what the fuck is going on?
As a side note, are the tendrils still?
Oh, yes. The two of you can very much... They don't... When Vi wakes up, nothing changes spectrally.
Do I feel anything different?
You do not.
Okay.
Does this hurt, Vi?
No, she won't feel it. Does it hurt?
Would someone please tell me what the fuck is going on?
A motherfucker escaped you. Put you in torpor.
The squirrel.
Is it alive?
Yep.
Oh, the
I'm
squirrel's
holding
alive.
it. Yeah, fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought they said you'd be hungry.
I'm assuming I'm very hungry.
I'll body block a little. Give you
Just
some
gonna
privacy.
turn away and
The
pretend
squirrel,
it's not happening.
the squirrel falls asleep, by the way.
It's late, so, yeah.
So no, y'all are just gonna watch me eat and not explain why I have a hole in my chest?
You're the one who has a squirrel in your hands, so either eat it or you can explain.
Okay, I'm going to eat the squirrel.
Okay.
Oh,
It doesn't take long. The squirrel is small, but...
Some associate of Valentina, I don't know who it is yet. He took you before I even woke up.
Do you remember what happened?
no.
Do you remember when Alquist murdered 3 humans in my vehicle that I had called?
I wasn't there, so I don't remember.
I remember.
Well, but St. Valentine saw it, and you trust him at least if you don't trust my word.
What's your point?
Well, that vehicle and those people belonged to a very powerful associate of mine, and they were very angry about everything that has happened around that, and I believe you were collateral. I mean, it's all fair considering what he did.
I'm gonna excuse myself from the room.
Right, you're gonna turn it over.
I want to touch your shoulder real quick.
Let me just say one thing really quick. For clarification, the last thing you remember, Vi, is
Going to sleep,
sleep 2 nights ago. When the sun was coming up, it was a normal day, and then now...
But I don't know, it was 2 nights ago.
You do not. You were going to sleep, and now
It's Tuesday for me.
Exactly. Now you're awake with a hole in your chest.
I just catch your shoulder real quick, yank you toward me, and whisper, "Thank you." Shut you off.
I'm happier.
Doesn't even have anything to say for himself.
You want to mend that a little bit? It's a pretty bad one.
I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you need.
Just gonna go sit in a tree outside.
Do you begin the process of attempting to mend?
Yes, but
You
on
all-
on my own.
Right, but you wait till you go outside? Okay, all right. As you all watch Vi leave, you see the noose in the tendrils. They basically just continue off towards the ceiling. You know, it's like she's essentially tethered, basically. But it's like they're moving relative to her. You understand? Like they're always right over her head.
Like
It's
I'm
not
wearing a vive.
right, basically.
Vi appears to be some kind of strange spectral marionette.
What's going on?
I just told you We fucked up, and now people are mad. That's what happens.
I understand that, but with Vi.
Oh.
What is it?
I'm not at liberty to say.
We've had your back for nights now. You won't even give us that much?
I've had your back too.
Yeah, because that's what people do.
Look, you're not the only ones in my life.
Who else is it? Is it that Joey asshole? Is someone... No,
Right.
Valentina, is someone fucking with you?
What an interesting question. No, I don't think so.
You know, historically, I've never found anyone take that long to answer. And the answer's really no.
Well, it seems a little subjective is all.
Assholes!
Look, I think we should have been more cautious in our approaches of what we were doing. We kind of ran in, wrecked shop, came out. Of course, there were going to be consequences. Vi is fine. Look, she's awake outside and probably...
She got some kind of ghost news I can't see. I can't protect her from that.
Probably just a
She doesn't need
contingency.
my protection. From whom?
From those that took her.
What do you know about them?
Nothing more than y'all.
Bullshit.
Have you seen that before, though? The thing. I mean, you work with them. Have you ever seen them do that to anyone else?
No.
Bullshit.
Can I roll subterfuge?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Literally what I was about to say. Reese, give me wits and insight. Valentina, you give me wits and subterfuge.
God damn, she's literally most lying for it.
Well, again, this is not a
I
magic.
have a special team cover up.
Yep, you can add an extra die. This does not mean that you will magically be compelled to believe her. This is not a mind-altering effect. You might, however, be far more motivated to second guess yourself or think maybe she's the real victim here. Let's see how the dice fall.
Did you say wits or charisma?
Manipulation. Actually, I'm gonna give you manipulation. You are wits and insight.
Does abilities against resistance against mental intimidation, seduction, coercion kind of?
No, because it is not a mental effect. She's just lying.
I mean, there are also mundane ones that fall into that. Because normal coercion
Which ability
and
are you asking me?
That's playable.
No, that's for discipline.
that's for
It's
discipline.
also for that. Okay. It's all good.
What do you get? Oh, bird.
6.
You're not convinced, but she's smooth, man. She's
Yep.
smooth. Like maybe, you know what it is? Maybe she's got a good reason for not telling you.
I mean,
She's not
clearly
telling
she
you.
does. Someone's fucking with her.
Yeah.
And she's lying about that, which is cool. We all have shit we lie about. It's great when it gets in the way of, people being harmed, but, fucking whatever.
Vi. Outside in the tree. You begin the process of healing. You hear the of the ribs and bones and sinew beginning to knit, and it is awful. You've done this countless times, and it never gets any easier. And you hear a voice say, "Oh, my darling, what have they done to you?"
Punish me for someone else's doings again.
Oh, It just seems like everything we do is just shit rolling downhill, don't it?
I've been here too long. I should have gone away.
I mean, didn't you just get to Long Beach like 3 weeks ago?
I feel odd clarifying to my beast.
No, this isn't your beast. This is an external person.
Oh, this is a person talking to me?
Oh, yes.
I just assumed my beast was very southern.
Oh, no. It is, but it's nowhere near as polite.
No, we know this, fucker.
Yeah. You have heard this voice before. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are they physically there?
Not that you can see.
How'd you find me?
Oh, we just had eyes on you. We didn't want nothing to happen to you. And there was that strange contingent of automobiles here the other night, and we just didn't know. We just was checking to make sure you were okay.
What do you want?
Just for you to be safe and happy,
Cut the
Tiger
bullshit.
Lily.
What do you want?
Right when you say that, on another branch, slightly lower down, Dione appears. And again, I apologize, everyone. I'm on the back nine of a allergy thing. Sorry. She is wearing, again, completely modern, very expensive, like Western couture. Like, she basically looks like the world's most expensive Southern Belle. And she's got the big 80s bouffant hair that you remember too. And she looks especially ridiculous up in a tree, but she's here effortlessly. Just crouched down. And she's like, you know, the others said I shouldn't even bother coming by, but I just wanted you to know that, like, you got some kin here that, like, care about you.
Y'all kind of funny way of showing care. What do you want?
She sort of, like, looks down at the still significant hole, even though it's closing. She's like, I just want you to know I'd have thrown myself in front of that stake if given the opportunity. I really didn't know. We had no hand in any of that. Do you know who did this to you?
I don't. They do, I think.
We came to Los Angeles because we wanted a fresh start to make a better place for our people. And they did not want to listen. And now we've come to Long Beach again, trying to create a better place. And even here, the systemic corruption that infects kindred society runs through every street of this godforsaken town. And do you know what's worse? Do you know what's worse?
What?
It's not just kindred here. They have formed some kind of vile pact with the lupines. They can do some sort of witchcraft and devilry with ghosts. It makes no sense, Tiger Lily. Oh, God. See, I would not lie to you, child.
I know you've been dead for a long time, but you'd think you'd get over your prejudices at some point.
It's not prejudice with the fucking wolves. You've seen what those things are capable of. You have seen what those things are capable of.
I have also seen what kindred are capable of. It wasn't wolves that left me in the desert dead.
Why are we bringing up stuff so long since past, child?
Because I have been dealing with your prejudice for over 150 years now, and I am sick of it. I do not need your protection. I do not need your care. I need you to get the fuck out of my face. Just leave me be.
I can see you're having a challenging night. I will excuse myself. Just know that we care about you, Violet.
What do you want from me?
You
do not care about me. You do not know the meaning of that word. So what do you want?
Just like you to come home.
What do you need?
You can Titan, Mimus, we might have run afoul of some people that we're not gonna escape this time, but we're done running, and we won't get you tied up in this. You got his number. If you care, you'll call. I came to check to see that you were whole and intact, and I see that's at least somewhat true. So, if you'll excuse me. And she takes a step back, and she just falls out of the tree, and she hits the ground just without a sound. And she just like sort of looks at you for a second and walks towards the tree and is gone.
I'm gonna keep fixing my hole.
Back inside, Alquist.
Yes.
You sort of walk out of the room and you're like, what are they even talking about? And your phone buzzes. And then it buzzes again.
What's a phone?
And then it begins to like buzz repeatedly.
Your childlike cell phone with one button on it.
Yeah, it's like a BlackBerry.
I've tried so hard.
Yeah, it's an old school flip, like check. Right.
Just answered. Hello.
Is this Mr. Alquist?
Yes, of course it's me.
Do you have any comment on the reports coming out now that Lazir's meat has been contaminated by human flesh?
What?
Yes, sir. Multiple instances of your meat has been recovered and sampled and has been contaminated with human flesh. The FBI is investigating. Do you have any comment?
Who is this?
I am a reporter for the newspaper that won't get us sued for mentioning, and I would just like to get a statement from you now on the record.
Perfect. Goodbye, tiny man. And then I just
it just starts buzzing nonstop.
push it away.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounded interesting. What was that?
So, what did you tell them?
I'm sorry. I don't know what
I know
you're
it was
back.
you.
Hello.
I know it was you. I know it was you. It was her. Look at you, I guess. It was her.
What?
She sabotaged me and my business.
I have better things to do than
really?
deal with your...
Of course, me,
business
always
plans.
at the center of your mind. You just can't get enough, can you? I am quite tired, to be honest. You just always have to sabotage me and my business because you and your vegan meats.
Let's not go just pointing the blame at everyone willy-nilly now. Here, let me see if
There's
I
no
can...
willy-nilly being pointed. It's her, and she did it.
Well, pass me
He
something else.
personally does not like me, and now he is putting me
We can get
in
an
an
answer
odd
to this.
position.
Yes. What is it that you would like, Lula?
I'm going. Somebody hand me something, that phone, anything. I'm
It's on
see
the
if I
ground, if you
can
want.
get a spirit's touch premonition or anything. Spirit's touch.
So what Spirit's Touch will tell you is something about the phone, where the phone has been, what it has been doing. So really, it will tell you something about Alquist. Unless the phone was in the proximity of whatever happened at his factory, it wouldn't necessarily tell you that.
Is there anything you have, dear? A necklace, a bracelet.
Same thing, Valentina. You are aware that this is basically a form of psychometry, and she could learn anything if you let her read something of yours.
I'm not comfortable with that. There are things about my own past. This has nothing to do with you. For
How
once in your life, could you
convenient.
just think about that? I'm not about to reveal my entire past.
No, dear. If I find anything out that's not related to his business, I will, of course, keep it between you and I. Bit of psychic, patient confidentiality.
Nothing to hide, right?
I don't. I'll give her one of my rings.
All right. Is this one of the rings that you had when you
While
were
you were
gone?
sabotaged.
It's true. Well, I will neither confirm nor deny.
I
Valentina
think it
may
is
or may
very
not have
clear
done.
what happened.
Is this one of the rings that you had while you were taken? I assume you haven't been home, so probably.
Well, I was taken, sure.
Okay. Because you really haven't had a chance to do much else. So, yes. Okay. Please roll. Yeah. I apologize for the Foley sound effects, folks.
I apologize for nothing.
4 successes.
It's not Foley if it's real.
Okay. That is true. That is true. This is actual, this is not stunt snarf. This is real snarf.
What?
When you hold the ring in your hand, you're like, you get terror, absolute terror, and then just hopelessness. Just why even, it's, just let it happen. Why am I even bothering? And then pain and hunger, so much hunger. So much hunger.
Oh dear. I do apologize. I'm so terribly sorry. I'm not sure if she is the one who you should put the blame on, dear.
You're useless. Always.
Oh, wow, that is a terrible thing to say to Miss Lula.
Oh, yes, of course, because you haven't
are
done
not
anything wrong.
useless.
Can both of you get the fuck off your high horse? If she did fuck with your company, you ate 3 of her people and kept denying it for days. Please, you did a nice thing. Please don't ruin it for me immediately.
I will say...
You're lying. We know that you're hiding things. You're hiding things. You're allowed. We all do. But, can both of you not? We're garbage people, right? We're garbage, mostly people. Let's not try to pretend anything the fuck else is going on with fancy words.
I agree. You are garbage.
I will say, you all haven't really been out of each other's company for more than a few minutes in the last couple of weeks. You don't even know when she could have gone if she was the one that went and did it. You don't even know when she could have.
You know, whether she did or didn't.
What is it that you are
Doesn't change
accusing me
things.
of exactly?
You know what I'm accusing you of.
I have no idea what you are accusing me of.
You told the press that my meat serves human. How convenient that the person with a competing business model all of a sudden has booming profits and I have human meat, apparently.
Reese, you being the only technologically savvy member of this group, would you like to check online?
Sure, let's do it. What's in tech?
Just honestly,
Hardcore
it's
Googling.
Google. So I
Cool.
would say,
Yeah, good one,
For the
Rob.
rescue.
when you flip your phone open and type, sure enough, it is all over the news. Lasier's Meats is contaminated with human flesh. Multiple instances, multiple factories in Southern California has been found, and the FBI is investigating, and they're treating it not just as a public health crisis, but actually as a murder, because this is
There's human flesh.
It's a really big deal.
Wait.
And people are searching for Alquist to bring him in for questioning.
Wait. The FBI is investigating. Not the USDA. The FBI.
Well, both. Pretty much all the government bureaus are involved now because there's
Because isn't it interesting that the FBI... We recently, we had a bit with the FBI.
You might have encountered them, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's fucking weird.
I can't
That's actually...
tell you.
Alcos, that's not... You remember... San Diego was FBI. This actually might not be there.
I'm not convinced.
Look,
You don't
I
have to
can't
be
tell
convinced,
you
but don't
how
let
much-
your grudge on her blind you from those dicks.
I wish I had done it. Because I'd love to see your face in that moment.
See? Always. Wanting to see my face.
That seemed honest, though.
You all hear... And in the middle of the room, you see what looks like a knife. Literally, the blade of a knife just jam basically in the middle of the air and start coming down and essentially cutting a hole into reality.
I'm gonna run outside to buy.
Okay?
Do I
That's all he
recognize
knows.
this?
You've never actually seen
Okay.
this exact thing before.
Okay.
Yeah.
not a manner of, like, non-corporeal things I've ever seen. That is new.
No, I don't know what that is. Mm-hmm.
A moment later, a rend opens up and Joey steps through, holding this gigantic knife in his hand.
Of course. Why not? More of your things.
Why did they let you talk? I'm always confused by that.
You smell something. It smells wet. Dog.
Ah, gotcha. Come here. I got a secret for you.
Come find right here.
No. I think you should.
No,
And then I'm just gonna run up and push Alquist up against the wall and lift him up off his feet. So literally, the only thing holding him up is my right hand.
You're basically weightless, Elquist. I mean, again, you begin doing. You're like, oh my god! Boom! Wall.
With the hand that has the knife, I look around the room and Who wants to go grab the rest of you? I hate having to speak over and over and over again. So who wants to gather you all up in here? Who? Huh? Lula?
Yes. This is wonderful. By the way, I like what you've done here. I'll go gather everyone else.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Hey.
Why the fuck is a space-time knife, like, cutting a hole in reality? Is that a kindred thing? Is that some kind of weird magic thing? There's a thing in the Haven right now.
Okay. Are you all watching a thing on that
No,
box? Or?
no, like, for real, weird magic shit.
Oh, okay.
Fucking Long Beach.
How's my hole?
It's going. Honestly, yeah, it's going to take some time to repair. Like you can function, but I mean, it basically, yeah. It's gonna be a few nights where you're at 100%.
Okay, but I have covered it.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Do you want to wrap it? We can leave these assholes right now.
I have eaten it. It's fine. Okay, so we're going inside. I'll go inside to whatever this is.
Yep, we're helping
when you come back in, you see a man that looks basically just like this, who has Alquist up against the wall, holding him there, and is holding a very large, long, what looks like ritual dagger.
Okay, my feral weapons come out.
Okay.
That was the motherfucker who took you and turned into a fucking wolf thing.
Yes, Joey, you've seen Vi before, but
Hi! It's good seeing you awake.
I do believe your debt has been paid. I'm confused as to why you still have your hand around his neck.
Here's the thing. I don't really care
Mm-hmm.
at all, really.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, and I take Alquist off and I toss him to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gentle, but it's not like I'm trying to cause any injury.
I'll rapid reflexes for him.
Okay.
I put the knife away,
Mm-hmm.
and I turned to the group and I said, "Well, you're all here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've always lose track of vermin. So let's start this off. You all did a great job. Well, not you. You were asleep, but the rest of you did a great job, and I'm very proud of all of you. Which means we've got more work for you. Excited? Yeah. We've got someone that you need to meet. Someone very important. Y'all ready? I look at Valentina. So, why don't we head off? Sound good? Everyone got packed and ready to go? Don't care. Let's go. I would like to go through the portal. Is a portal or is it
They
one
actually
way?
cannot, but Kindred can't travel the way you just traveled. But you've arranged there's a car outside.
Yeah.
If is anyone going to do anything other than come with him?
I'm sorry. What?
What are you confused about?
So many things. Currently,
I can tell.
Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck do you think we're going?
I know where you're going, so I don't need to think about it. I know who I am, so I don't really care. So get in the car before I put you in the bottom of the river again.
You'll find them a bit more difficult to stake when I'm awake.
You know, it's only a kindness out of my heart that I staked you while you were asleep versus ripping you apart while you were alive. Well,
Who hurt
unalive.
you? Like, why are you so upset all the time?
I mean,
Like, I'm just trying to ask some questions that I think are fair
Vi?
after you put a fucking
Vi?
You stay out of this!
Vi?
I don't even know who the fuck you are half the time.
Dear, we've seen quite a bit of force from this man, and even Valentina seems a bit frightened of him. Maybe watch your tone just a tiny little bit before he shreds us all.
Joey, would you like to show her?
no, I don't feel like I need to show.
Okay.
I would like to get closer to Vi. And get in real close. Well, would you like to do this the easy way?
God, you are such a fucking
I
cliche.
grab Vi by the, like, almost as if it was like a dog, and I grab by the scruff and just lift up, and I start walking outside.
Told you so.
Do you resist? Because Vi, basically, you are allowed to fight back. I will say, this man moves with a speed that is almost incomprehensible. Because you are a very accomplished fighter, and you're like, fine, let's do it. And he has you. You can fight back if you so choose, but it's amazing how quickly he does it. And you notice when he grabs you, no one else moves an inch.
But he's just like holding me, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hurting you. That's
Right.
not my intent.
I'm just gonna keep talking while he's holding me and just be like, no, this is ridiculous. Like, I am just asking questions. Like, why are you like this?
It's none of your concern.
It is my concern when it literally concerns me. You are holding me and putting me into a car. I'm just having a conversation.
I think
like,
you're gonna
why
have.
are you so upset all the time?
I think you're gonna have a series of answers as well as significantly more questions once we get where we need to go.
I'm gonna just walk right on by straight to the car. I'll say, sorry, Joey, as I go by and just sit down.
This time when you all come out, last time was kind of an SUV. This time is a full stretch limo. This is probably one of, if not the nicest cars money can buy outside.
Is it one of the ones that I saw?
It is one of the retro looking ones, but now that you see it up close, you're like, oh, I thought this car was old. This car is brand new. It's very much made in the style of a limo that should have come out in the late 80s. But you hear kind of like the hum. You're like, is that engine electric? I don't.
Imitates the 80s on purpose.
Complete with the big boomerang antenna on the back of the trunk.
I liked the 80s.
When we get outside, I would like to put Vi down.
Okay.
Now, please.
Before we go anywhere, I want you to know I have no issue with what you are, just with how you're treating us.
Great. And I continue to walk.
I still have my feral weapons.
I'm actually, I am happy and I am proud of them for their interactions. So when I get to the limo, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna open the door. Well, come on. I even put blood in here for you people. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
This is a similar setup to the car that you all took to DeForest Park, but actually nicer. Again, there are one side of it has almost been it's closer to what like being inside of an airplane than a car. There are again the passenger side seat, the shotgun seat next to the driver has been removed, and so there's a row of seating that goes all the way down. And this time there are 4 mortals sitting there again, kind of their hands across their lap, looking downward. There is, where there would have been a wet bar, a number of blood bags sitting there, and you also see on the wet bar area a number of recreational substances, which presumably is to let the mortals partake in, so you can partake in if you so desire. You feel like this vehicle could probably fit 12 people. It is ostentatious, to say the least.
I sit next to Alquist.
Lula's gonna sit next to one of the people and take their hand and go, are you okay with this, dear? May I
Oh, absolutely. Please, yes, let me help you.
Thank you so very much.
Would you like me to, and he points over towards the recreational substances. He's like, I have anything? Pick me up?
Ooh, from my old flapper days, is there any opium in that pile?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we could get
In the year of our Lord 2019, anything that's Vicodin, heroin.
He does look at you almost kind of pleading, because again, they don't say no.
Yeah,
they know
yeah,
not to say no, so they're like, what, teacher? I don't know that we've got that.
Lula, maybe we keep a slightly clearer head this evening.
I mean, sometimes it helps with the visions, but I suppose you're right.
Right when you say helps with the visions, and you kind of like bite into him and you feel the sweet vitae sort of flow through you, unbidden, you feel your second sight open. And you see a ship. It's like a cursed pirate vessel, like rocking back and forth with like old worn planks and tattered sails. And standing on the deck are very nicely suited men wearing three-piece suits, but they look like corpses. And they have marionette strings coming out from them. And they just are like manipulating things as they're standing on the deck of this ship. And then you're back again.
Did you used to be a sailor?
He's like, oh, I've spent some time on the high seas, ma'am, yes. He's starting to bliss out from him being fed up.
That must be what it is then.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take 2 dots from him.
Alrighty. He is pleased to be of service. And as his head sort of like rolls back, he does kind of make eye contact with you, Joey. Like, I did, yeah, she's happy.
Are any of them related to me?
If that is a known requirement of yours, yes. When one of them looks like they could be a cousin, you have a number of cousins.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Considering this was a catered event, I would say yes. That is there if that's what you require.
Yeah. I'll just take a little sip of my cousin Tommy there.
He's like, he looks up and he's smiling. He's about to say something,
Makes
and then
the southern thing way worse.
he looks at you like he's about to say something, and then like very much like think he's like.
Thank you.
You all notice it is a very different reaction than what Lula gets. Lula very much gets the please, yes, absolutely, let me help, and Valentina very much gets complete obeisance. And he's like,
Thank you, Tommy. That's all.
yeah.
Do not feed the others.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very tired all of a sudden, actually. I might need to collect myself. I apologize.
I'd like to seduce Tommy.
Mom arm.
Oh, God.
Immediate mom arm across his chest. Absolutely not.
I do feel like this plays out in real time. Like, Alquist very much is like, so Tommy...
No.
We're heading down the road, by the way.
You're driving, you're driving during this entire exchange.
Fine, Reese.
I'm not going to partake, obviously. But
Actually,
I mean, last time there was a...
midway through, Joey does just sort of look at you and like bangs on the door underneath the wet bar, and it opens up, and there is a very plump rabbit. You might recall there were rats in the last car when you rolled. There's a particularly fat rabbit.
Yeah, she doesn't like eating in front of people, though.
That's all right, dear. And I'll kind of stand in front of my...
Yeah.
Just hold my very sheer cape up.
I can body block for you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna eat the rabbit, but it's gonna be happy when it dies.
The rabbit is equally pleased to be of service. Yes.
So is that a vampire thing or is that a you thing? The hiding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we answering questions now?
Yeah,
I didn't think we were.
I'm
doing
curious.
that.
How's this? I'll answer a question if you answer my question.
Okay. I really honestly couldn't tell you. It was an an act of necessity initially, and I've not met many like me. So
The hiding part?
the eating of the rabbit.
Oh, I mean, who hasn't, you know, eaten a rabbit here or there?
I don't know. So what was your question?
You're hiding, the hiding, the.
Oh, I'm just a private person.
I know vampires eat animals. I'm not dumb.
She's a lady.
Look, you answered my question. You have one for me?
Why us? I mean, I know you had your reasons initially, but here we are again. Why us?
Because you did such a good job. Even you had your part. Well, I mean, the rest of you, go on. I know you want something.
Yes.
I think maybe.
I'd like to seduce the person next to Tommy.
So there are 4 mortals, 2 males, 2 females. Lula has fed on one. Tommy's been expressly forbidden, and there's 2 females that no one has talked to yet. You want to give it a shot?
I'm gonna be awkwardly right over your shoulder. You spent just a little too long, and I'm gonna rip you right out of him.
Right. Manipulation and subterfuge. Is your goal to hunt, or is your goal just to get illicit with them?
Well, I'm supposed to seduce them, right?
All right. You all
Then
notice
the answer
that.
is to hunt.
Yeah.
To hunt,
All
yes.
right. Are you looking to bone, or are you looking to eat?
No, I'm not.
Oh, poor Kay, no
I
dose.
think
Right?
it's bone-in dinner.
Well, now that
So
you
thank you all for
say-
tuning in. We're done here. That's it. Thank you for Alex for coming. I appreciate you making it. Now.
You're welcome.
We're done here. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this off now. Yes, please.
Maybe mostly hunt and slightly bone.
Manipulation and subterfuge.
Hunt and peck.
Hunt and peck.
I'm gonna sit next to Joey after I've had some. Just
I want to stare straight. Yeah, we're making eye contact the whole time this is happening. Just so you know.
sure.
You all do you go after the male that Lula already fed from, or one of the females, or Tommy who was told not to?
For some reason, I'm starting to like Reese, so I'm gonna stop.
They do that to people.
Yeah. Which one is closest?
They're all kind of side by side, basically across from you. So you've kind of
Sit in
equal
the
access.
corner, very bothered.
That's my
Yeah, there's like a weird thing. It's mainly because you mess with my meats. Can I get those real quick? So I can
Oh, here
do
we.
Oh, yeah, need some. How much do you need manipulation and subterfuge? You had hunger 1?
I will also
I'm
say.
at hunger 3.
Son of.
Woo.
Oh, right, yeah, because
it's a
Vitae.
holdover.
Yeah.
Oh no, please! You can give him the
4,
nice
and then you said what was it? Manipulation and
subterfuge.
So 5.
I will say both Joey and Domitian. You all have heard about what happened with Losier's meats. It is big news, national news.
What does that mean?
Read
the bones.
3 successes.
Okay. What do you say to this person?
Which is the female?
It's up to you.
Let's say it's the male that Lula did.
Okay. He's still sitting there happy because again being fed on is pleasurable to mortals. So he's very much like.
So I just want to get up in there.
Go easy on him.
Get up in here.
Sorry,
You sure you don't want to do a freshie?
He's probably. Well, you have to eat a lot, and he's not doing. He's already gotten a bit of.
So picky. Alright, fine.
I would say that even you, Alquist, comprehend that killing this man right now would probably be a tactical error.
Which is why I'm like, fine.
And a
fine.
little too easy
That's
for
why I'm
how
pissed about it.
Yeah.
hungry you are.
So I go to the female then. I'm like, you are gorgeous. How are you?
Thank you.
What is it? Are they wearing anything, or are they just?
It's no, it's a gender.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect,
no,
fantastic.
she's just wearing basically just a very understated, just black dress. All of them are very they're dressed more like hotel
What
staff
is this?
at a nice
Gorgeous
hotel.
Armani.
She's
Oh,
like,
my.
she's like, I don't. It's just my uniform. Yeah.
You look lovely, darling.
Oh, thank you.
Would you mind? And
Oh
so,
no,
like,
please,
pull
yes.
her close and like kind of make out halfway whole time doing this thing.
She very much kind of like she's into it, and then she sort of like looks at Joey and tenses, and she isn't sure because they're not supposed to say no to you, so it's very much like.
Lula goes.
And then I
also,
she does seem like she seems like she enjoys it. Once she kind of gets the okay from Joey, it's sort of like, you are a particularly beautiful man. Yes, yeah. So she's happy, and then you proceed to feed.
Yeah, whole time feed, whole time staring contest while this happens. The whole time.
Are you sitting next to me at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like weird fetish thing that you want to do, or like? I feel that more I spend around you people, I have more questions.
Same.
No, Joey, I hate that man.
Gotcha.
Again, you are beautiful, and being fed upon is pleasurable. She is very happy. Do you use lingering kiss, or do you just feed normally?
Yeah, let's do lingering kiss.
I thought you might, because you are a monster. Yes. So when you remove your fangs and lick to close the wound, like she very much just looks at you with just like hearts in her eyes, and she just sort of like rubs her hand down the lapel. She's like, "Hey, anytime that I can be of some assistance,
I'll call you."
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I mean, I work every night. Yeah. Just
fantastic. So do I. And then I just
right. She very much just kind of like steals every glance at you that she can. Like she tries to she doesn't want to offend Joey, but she's still like.
Well, my work here's done.
I'll lean over to Joey and whisper, "Can we kill her?"
Sure.
I don't need to do it.
This is her last night on the payroll. We got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Does anyone do anything else as you all make your drive over?
I'm very annoyed in the corner and aware of how aggressive I've been, and so I'm going to basically try to relax and commune with my with the earth, all that shit. But as I do that, I think I unwittingly tap into sense the unseen for the first time.
As the blood of this creature moves through you, and you very much are trying to figure out just what's going on, and you're staring at Joey, you're just like, what? You feel your eyes sort of defocus, and you get a sense of something else. You've heard them talk about it many times. Lula's described it to you. You've seen it, and you are like, oh. As you look out, as you drive through Long Beach, there's just ambient spectral energy everywhere. The docks are basically glowing with ghosts. There's hundreds, maybe thousands along. And as you're sort of looking around like, this is amazing, you look down, and around your neck is a spectral noose. The rope basically dangles down and just sort of goes off into the distance. And as you look up, you see the strings that Lula described to you. It's like, oh, they are there.
She never described it to me.
Oh, did you? Oh,
I was asleep.
Oh.
Yeah.
She barely described it to us.
No one has told me about this yet.
This is the first Vice scene of a spectral noose.
Well, this is the first Vice scene a lot.
Do I notice her crying?
I very much. She'd be like,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, do you see them now?
What?
The something, the doom strings,
Is this here all the time?
Just since we woke you up. I've never seen them before until we got you in the
What is this?
none of us seem to have any idea. A bit of bad news there.
Not none of us. There's one of us that seems to know.
Alquist is making assumptions here.
Assumptions?
What is this?
I don't know.
I asked, she wouldn't tell me.
Are you what?
You can see them? Like you've never...
It does not hurt. I mean, aside from your spectral vision that is showing it to you, you wouldn't know it was there otherwise.
Does this go away, this sight?
the sight to be able to see it. I mean, you can turn it off if you want.
I'm going to try to do that.
You just shut your eyes, or you're like, stop it, and
Well,
I'm
gonna try to release it the same way I would release like my heightened senses or like the eyes of the beast, using those methods.
It takes a little bit of doing because this is very much a freak out. But right before you do, is you're like, stop, you turn and you look out in the port of Long Beach as you all are driving in, and there is a huge super yacht. It is probably one of the biggest boats on the ocean of a private vessel, and it is glowing black. As beautiful as it is to your mundane eyes, it is terrible to your spectral eyes. And then you shut it off.
I start saying, hey, all right, all of you, we're getting here. All right, so do you know what that means? You know, you gotta calm down, stop doing your weird shit. All right? We're gonna go in, you're gonna be polite, you're gonna be nice. All right? Everyone get that? Everyone understand that?
But you asked us to come with you. Last time you told us what we were doing for you. Can we get that much?
You're gonna be meeting the boss.
Yours?
Yes, my boss as well as many others.
What do y'all do on that boat?
I mean, it's kind of weird you asking me what we do on that boat after I watched all of you. Let's just go on the boat. How's that sound?
Yes, sir.
Lula and Valentina, presumably you all know that the docks are incredibly haunted. So do you keep your alternative vision up, or do you turn it off as you approach?
I'm gonna keep mine up.
I'm fine with it up.
You also see the same thing about the boat. The boat itself is, it's probably a $400 million vessel. It's lavish, but you witness the exact same inky black spectral glow around it.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That does not look promising.
Capitalism, my friend. End stage capitalism.
Nice.
Yes, that.
I mean, no, that is what capital like.
What they see is different.
You should see the boat that comes out of the boat.
There is, in fact, a boat that comes out of the boat. It is true. It is
What
true.
in the who watched James? Who let them watch James Bond?
Really? You have a boat that...
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. It actually... Hey, if you're good, we'll show you.
Oh no. Are they making friends?
The limo pulls right up to the docks, and sure enough, there is a smaller yacht, which again would be something that most people would aspire their entire lives to acquire, that is just the dinghy to ferry you from the docks over to the vessel. The yacht itself honestly looks something more like a spaceship, where the limo is very retro in 80s. The yacht is... Honestly, if it were to lift out of the water right now and fly away, you'd be like, no, this is all very much in order.
Reese hums the Jetsons theme.
Mm-hmm. It is sleek and beautiful to mundane eyes, although, again, it is very much a bloated example of capitalism. To you, Alquist, it is, you want it so bad, also it's stupid, but also you want it so bad.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Look said I didn't bring my boat hat. I feel very underdressed for a seafaring adventure.
You look wonderful.
Thank you, dear. So do you. That's true.
Reese, give me your wits and awareness.
Oh, cool. Maybe I will see something today.
Sure.
2 successes.
Reese, you hear. Psst. Psst, 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 psst. Jules.
I keep in a line, so I'm not actually slow walking relative to anyone else, where I might be delaying the group, but I do sort of move to the outside of the pack and keep eyes forward as I listen.
Yeah, hi. Reese, hi.
Thank you again for getting us out of that.
Is your friend okay?
There's some kind of weird ghost news that I can't see, and it's freaking me out.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, I've seen that before. Nothing good happens with the ghost news.
Great, love a ghost news. That's okay.
Yeah, she's like, hey, so Reese, just, so like out on that boat,
Yeah.
they're like super fucking scary.
Yes. Okay, relative to scary wolf guy, how scary are we talking? I need a scale here.
Scary wolf guy's afraid of them.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
How are we not fucked in this circumstance? I would really like my friend not to have a statement.
I mean, I would say you could just like not go, but you could try and run, but I think you just die tired.
I think he would catch me. He's
Yeah, no, he's
faster
really
than
fast.
I am. He's the only person.
Yeah, he might be as fast as me, and I'm super
You're super fast and like you're super gymnastic and it's great and it's impressive.
No, I mean, I appreciate the flattery. It's all true. But I just want to tell you, just be careful, because I don't know that I'm going to be able to help you out there.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
She's like, wait, hang on, hold on, here. And you hear like tink, 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 something sort of like bounces out of the shadows.
I want to, football style, dribble it up into my hand.
Okay, between rapid reflexes you can. It is a very, very sky blue marble. It is almost like if somebody just cut a little piece of the sky and it was a little blue sphere. She's like, it's for luck.
Thank you, buddy. I won't forget that.
Yeah, hopefully you like living stuff, because I want to hear what's on that boat.
Copy that. Say hi to your friends. Tell your red cat buddy we'll talk soon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Also, don't tell him I'm here. He might hurt me.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Oh, one last thing.
Yeah.
I don't think any of like the fairies are gonna hurt you guys because they got some kind of deal. So everybody's happy. It's like a good deal.
I mean, if they're cutting deals, we'll see how good that stays for the long term, but
yeah.
Thanks for looking out.
A tiny little furry fist comes out of the shadow towards you. You have a little bump. Bump and it goes
very
back.
much not
Right.
like making eye contact
Yeah.
that would sort of reveal
Yeah.
I'm talking to anyone. But
Very
yeah.
much there. All right. So I just right.
You can see me. I rely on you to make the contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we arrive, I just want to, lean into Joey. Is he mad?
You know, once we get in there, I can't protect you. You know that, right?
I know.
Let's just say you'll survive.
I would like to turn on heightened senses.
I would say you hear both of those exchanges. You hear Reese talking to something, but you've known Reese long enough to know that they're trying to be cool, so you just sort of back their play. You're like, I don't know what that is, but you hear that entire
They'll tell me
exchange.
later.
You also hear that between Joey and
Okay,
Valentina.
I'm gonna sidle up to Alquist for a second.
Actually, give me your wits and auspex.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what else you might have heard.
Ooh. Sorry, that was
Right.
weird.
But
That was definitely Ash and not Vi.
You do hear. I'm sorry. Wait.
Read them bones.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that is at least a crit. So good. Okay. It takes a moment to sort of filter through just the ambient noise, because Long Beach is a very busy port. Even in the middle of the night, things are happening, and there's machinery and crates and the ocean and buoys and seals. Enchanting.
What kind of chanting?
Chanting. It's coming from the boat.
Can
Is there
I-
any reason that Vi would speak Italian?
She's got linguistics,
You know that it's Italian.
and
You
she
don't-
also knows occult. I got them occults, and I have languages in my academics.
What language?
It's Latin?
It just says languages.
It's old Latin. You can't quite make it out, especially because it's far away. It's on the boat.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's very much at the edge of your hearing.
Okay, this is cool. All right, yeah, I'm still gonna sidle up to Alquist
Okay.
and just be like, "Hey,
How you feeling?
just listen. I know you got to do this whole front thing for whatever reason to act like a witless ass all the time, but if you could just drop it for a bit. I don't trust these people, and I don't think we can get out of this easily.
been trying to say this whole time, but no one listens.
I need you to listen for just a second. Could you just drop it? While we're on that boat.
For you.
Does everybody move over to the yacht that will carry you to the significantly larger yacht? No, again, this is probably a $3.5 million vessel. Like, again, a normal person would be very proud to own this. But its only job is to go back and forth to this essentially floating skyscraper.
Nice.
Okay. Let's get on.
What am I closer to Valentina, or am I closer to?
You all basically make your way out of the limo. You could easily reach or talk to anyone because you all are kind of.
Well, high
Do I
five.
reroll since the unseen as we get closer?
You can if you like. You can give me another roll, see if you see anything different. Also, Valentina, you can tell me if give me another roll to see if your vision sees anything different this close.
With the crit.
As you sort of like turn and look around, again, you see the ghosts on the dock, but you notice they're standing back further than they used to be. Remember last time you were here, there was a number of ghosts that most of them still thought they were working. They were going through some of them were soldiers waiting to get picked up, but they're back a ways from the edge of the water this time. There's almost like there's just like a swath around the yacht where nothing comes close to it.
Do they have any emotion? Like, do they look scared or anything? Like, are they shaking, or are they just kind of standing at attention?
They're still doing their thing, but they're doing it just much further back. Whereas before it was right to the waterline. Now it is not. Also, as you sort of go around, you see a tiny little furry face with a little deer nose and two little ears that's like next to one of the crates. And when your eyes fall across Fawn, she goes,
Lula will be like, she'll wink at her. This is very odd. There were so many ghosts. Do you remember the ghosts? They, but before, they seemed like the ship in the park. They seem to be further back than before. They're a ways away. There's something maybe they don't want to go near. I'm not entirely certain. I'm just trying to theorize.
Strange, odd.
how many successes did you get, Valentina?
Oh, just 3.
Okay. It's hard for you to take your eyes off the boat. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what that is. Mm-hmm. And you're very much like, okay, all right. You're running numbers in your head. Like you're kind of like ghosts, whatever, they're stupid. Lula, you also notice that as you sort of like kind of continue focusing, looking at the boat, those strands that are coming off of Vi go to the boat. But there's dozens, maybe hundreds of those things going out in just different directions. Every direction you can see. Strands.
I'm going to run up behind Vi and go, that's so odd.
What do you say, Lola?
They're attached to the boat somehow. You are attached to the boat with the marionette noose strings of spectral doom.
Am I able to hear this?
Yes.
Oh, I want to immediately stop this conversation.
You have incredible hearing.
Yeah.
So yes, even if they try and whisper, you hear all of it.
Yeah. So I walk up and I go, we're almost here. So again, best behavior. Everyone understand that? Shh. No one talking. All right. So this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna introduce you. You just come in, stand in the line, and just listen. If the boss asks you to speak, you speak. If he doesn't, I wouldn't, okay? Because then I have to be involved. And if I have to be involved, then you're going to be hurting, okay? Everyone understand that? Everyone understand that? And I'm looking right at Vi.
I thought we couldn't speak until the boss. No, all right.
I said the boss, not me. All right, ready? And I walk to the door. Sorry, go for it.
As you head towards the back of the yacht to be able to get on board, which again, in and of itself, is like a small house, you hear, "Everything all right, Mr. Adonis?"
We're okay.
And you all see from the back deck a particularly large lupine rear up. It is jet black with emerald green eyes. You know, one of your cousins.
Yeah.
But it's like... And it just sort of like mean mugs all of you for a second. And it leans over with one of its gigantic claws and like unhooks the bag for you to be able to get onto the boat. And just sort of like crouches down again and is like, "Everything's clear on the docks tonight, sir."
As soon as we hook up, I take my jacket off and I now feel comfortable and I change myself as well.
You see Joey turns into an even larger specimen of...
Larger than the first guy or larger than...
Both.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. Larger than the one who was watching the boat. Physically large. He's probably about 9 feet tall. And if it weren't terrible, he'd be beautiful. There's like luxurious, shiny black fur that kind of glints faintly in the light with these piercing blue eyes.
Ooh, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
Get on the boat.
Yeah.
Without looking at my phone, I just type a note and show it to Vi. You know, that way, all the oil in his hair almost looks like conditioner. And then I just put it back in.
I assume everyone gets on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's conditioner.
I'm gonna walk somewhere alone.
Okay.
Away
Oh,
from
wow, that is before your time.
somewhere in this giant yacht.
All right. It is a very short trip. You basically just have to get far enough out into the deep water that this yacht can be moored. Were you going to do anything or just collect
No,
yourself?
I just don't want anyone to talk to me.
Got it. As you all approach the yacht, I would say, boss, knowing you have this huge ship, where would you like to receive guests? Pretty much anything you want is on here because it was made for you.
Well, I'm going to say... I'm going to be right at the front of the ship, right on the deck.
As you all approach, you see a couple of suited men kind of making their way on the docks. And as the yacht comes and pulls actually into the back of this yacht, almost like it's a slip, standing just inside, there are 2 men wearing 3-piece suits. They're brown. Again, they are very much cut in a method that was in vogue in the 1930s, but it looks completely pristine. One of them has slick back hair. The other one has a full comb over with a vicious scar on his face. All of you give me wits and awareness. Let's get those bestial fails out here early. You as well, Valentina, because this is something I want to see if you notice. Actually, even you, Joe. I'll roll for you, Joey.
Messy crit.
Messy crit.
6 successes.
Valentina, actually, that is good. Your messy crit is enough, all right? Valentina, he's got the same scar you've got. What's on his face is the same thing that's on your shoulder. And almost despite yourself, you're sort of like run straight towards him like...
Where'd you get that?
He just sort of goes, "Oh, this old thing? North Hollywood. Some guy lost his cool."
Recently?
A week or 2, yeah. He sort of looks at you for a second, and then he looks at everyone else, and then he looks at you again, and his eyes turn jet black, like pools of oblivion. And he's like, "Can't quite remember."
I understand.
And then he turns and looks at you all again with, again, the swirling pools in his eyes. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, forgot my manners." And he sort of like touches his eyes for a second and they go away. And he goes, "Joey, always a pleasure."
I just nod, not saying anything.
Mm-hmm. The other guy just like continues standing there, like mean mugging you all, and like opens the door, goes, "Can I help you with something, sir?"
No, good.
And he
I
turns
like
it. He's like, temporary, I'm sure.
Wow. Shame.
And he turns and looks at you for a second, Vi, and then his eyes kind of narrow, and like you see his eyes fall where you know the noose is, and then kind of back up to your eyes, and he goes like, busy couple nights, huh? We don't want to leave the boss waiting, so.
So once we get to the dock, or not the dock, sorry, the front of the boat where the boss is, I look back. I just turn. I walk up to the boss. They hear you.
Thank you, Joey.
And then I take my place next to him, behind him.
The two men that greeted you do follow behind you all, so they're basically between you and the exit, essentially, and they just kind of stand there with their hands crossed.
I'm gonna stand behind anyone taller than me.
I think of this group, Alquist is probably your only option there at this exact moment.
Sure, I'll stand behind Alquist.
So, just for the sake of ease, let's get real quick what you all look like. What does Alquist look like?
Ta-da!
Except beautiful.
No, he's very
Aggravated
beautiful now.
damage out of that burn.
No,
Yeah.
aggravated will. Ugh.
Yeah, she's always burning someone in our games, so
Mm-hmm.
why not me?
All right, what does Vi look
I'm
like?
just kidding.
I will say, Alquist, Lilith, or not Lilith, sorry, Lula, different game, Lula, and you also have looks, right?
No, it's
No.
Oh, yes. Alquist, Vi, and Lula are conspicuously beautiful. Also, yeah. Okay.
But Lula, she's not Lula. Sorry, me. Vi has like a very, she's like that beautiful that's like doesn't try, has no awareness of what looks are, of like those.
I'm very aware.
Hashtag woke up like this.
I hadn't been able to tell.
She's sort of just generally wears kind of a modern version of cowgirl clothes. Always wearing boots. Yeah. Longish hair.
She looks a little recently waterlogged, but you're completely clear on why that is.
Yeah.
Boss.
And her shirt's buttoned up real high today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reese is fairly tall. Looks like an athlete. Looks like actually a professional athlete.
Right.
Pretty muscular kind of bro.
Got it.
The hair's a brighter pink. We started moving raspberry over here in the real life, but she's still pink.
All right. Oh, sorry.
Dressed like working class kind of stuff right here.
Mm-hmm. And what does Lula look like?
Got it.
Let's make this easy.
So much.
We look
I
like
don't
our
know, it's like
characters.
This is,
Still not
yes,
looking
you do
awesome.
look like this.
Right.
Also,
Good to know.
Lula is famous. So
Right.
you are quite familiar with Lula's work as a medium and psychic of some renown.
Okay.
Actually.
Palm reader extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. And what does the boss look like?
The boss is leaning on over the handrail of the front of this yacht, and he is. When he turns around, you'll see he's not. He's tall. He's an imposing figure, but not because he's big, but because he just looks like every part of him has been messed up at some point. He's got, like, his skin is pocked. He's got scars. He's not what you would consider an attractive person. He's got very sunken eyes and just a mean fucking face. In a blue suit.
You notice that his blue suit is also conspicuous. Everyone else you've seen, it's grays, very muted, very earth tone, so that like he very much strikes a very different visual on board the vessel.
So they've all congregated.
Mm-hmm. And you are quite...
Yeah.
You very much notice Valentina
Yeah.
attempting to hide.
You know, sometimes I like to come out here. I just look over everything that's happening out there. I think. Sometimes I think about good things. Sometimes not so good things. And he looks at all of you. Valentina. You can come out here.
Yes, sir. I'll walk up very slowly to him, and I won't look at him, but I'll reach a hand out. Prima la familia.
That's funny. It's funny you talk about family. Because, family wouldn't have waited about 2 weeks to come and say hello. After they mysteriously disappeared for 3 weeks before that. Kept me waiting. I had to find you, figure out what you were doing, keep my eyes open. I had to work to know what you were doing instead of being family and keeping me informed. Now, it's nice to officially meet all of you. Alquist, Vi, Reese is in, and, well, of course I know you. No, we haven't met. I'm just aware of who you are.
Oh, yes. Oh, my work, of course.
Now, you all have been very busy. Causing a ruckus. But first, what are you doing? What have you been up to? What are you running around with these folk here?
It's just, I was gone for, they had me for 3 weeks, and you didn't come get me. I was just trying to compose myself before I came back here, so.
Right. So I'm supposed to solve every problem you get yourself into.
No.
Right. Well. Things have been not running as smoothly as I generally like them to run. Things have been happening apart from the little escapades you all have been having that make me less than excited. I like to think I'm a little important around these parts. I have plans, I have things I want to do, I have ideas. But unfortunately, other people have other ideas, you know. Certain barons hijack my trains, change my plans, make things more difficult than they need to be. But that doesn't concern all of you. I wanted you all here to put a face to a name, as it were. You all did such nice work under Joey's direction here, and I appreciate it. You all dealt with a little drug problem, which was honestly quite helpful, and I do appreciate that. But you all also dealt with some friends of mine on the Queen Mary that I was not so happy to see disappear. So, you all are about even at this point, I say. You're not good, you're not bad. So, I think I might have a use for you all. Now, I guess I should introduce myself, because I'm sure I've just been referred to as the boss up until this point. You can all just call me Dom. That's probably the simplest way. D-O-M. Now, I, from my perspective, run things here in Long Beach. Now, if I am to be, clear, you all haven't, chosen a side, have you? Being Camarilla or Anarch.
It changes so frequently over the years. It's hard to pick one or the other for myself. I try to remain independent.
Right.
As do I.
The preference is to not be tied to anything or anyone.
Come on, now you're old enough to know you're always tied to somebody.
Appears I am now.
Clever.
Vi, when you say that, the burned man in the back literally does like this, and you feel a jolt of pain go through your neck. And he goes, "Hey, respect."
It's alright, it's alright. They've got initiative. Now, let's see. Gangrel. Brewhall. Toreador. Am I right?
Who's it all, really? Yes.
Thank you. Malkavian.
There's a few of us in there, love. We're all different things, but I
Right.
myself, yes.
Yeah. And, Ventru, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That thing you've always been. Quite a diverse setup you all have here. Look, I think we, can have a healthy working relationship here. But, I'm gonna say that you all are gonna have to work yourselves into the positive with me, being that you're at a baseline of 0 right now. So, let me let's see what I got on the books here. And he pulls out like a moleskin notebook, and he just starts flipping through the pages.
Old school.
Same thing.
We're both like, oh.
Now, I would like it if you all would do me the favor of how would you say it in these times that you're all gonna work for me, right? You're gonna be my team. You're gonna do what I say. You're gonna fix problems I have that I can't be doing myself or have my people be doing. You're gonna be my little contractors.
Would
Right.
you like a palm reading?
Not at the moment, my dear, thank you. But I'm sure some of you being young, some of you being not as young, you're a little confused why Joey here and I are working together, considering that doesn't normally happen. Look, family's very important to me. My organization is built on family. And family's very important to the clan.
What kind, dear?
I myself am Giovanni. And the Giovanni and our friends the Shadow Lords over here made an agreement a long time ago. And that agreement has been mutually beneficial, even though most Guru and kindred like us don't get along. We found a way to make that work, haven't we, Joey?
Absolutely.
Now, you know, I can't do it anymore. I can't keep pretending. What are you doing being a Ventru?
Curious.
Really?
Yes.
You're going to take what you are and walk around pretending you're a Ventru.
I've been going out and doing other ventures. For the family and other businesses of my own to make you proud. Please.
You all been sitting here with her thinking she's a Ventru. Have you ever seen a Ventru?
They're not that smart.
They don't do anything she's been doing. No, you see, Valentina here, I made her. She's one of mine. She's been hanging out with you all.
Reese, these names, groups being thrown around, this doesn't mean anything to you.
The confusion is very loud. The mouth is, in fact, quiet and not popping off.
Can I roll wits and occult to see if how much I know about the Giovanni, if at all?
Absolutely. Well, it'd be more wits and streetwise.
Wits and streetwise?
What you know about the actual clan, yes. Is there anything anyone else would like to do or check while the boss is discussing things with you?
I just would like to be sassy and quiet.
Sassy on the inside.
Yeah.
Inner
Reaction.
sassy. Okay.
There's an eyebrow raise, maybe.
Lula, when you reach out and rouse the blood to increase your wits, you feel a distinct voice raise out of the chorus. Let me talk to him. 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 Lula, you're gonna mess it up. Lula, you're gonna fuck it up. Lula, let me talk to him.
All right, dear. All right. Hold on just a moment.
Five successes.
Lula, you've been around a while. The Giovanni are, for lack of a better word, the organized crime of the Kindred family. Many Kindred have many fingers in many organized crime pies. I mean, the Ventru, not insignificantly in many places. But first and foremost, that is what the Giovanni are. Similar, you also know, similar to how the Tremere took their power, the Giovanni did something similar. They took it from a clan called the Cappadocians, where they basically used their temporal power to essentially force this clan to turn some members of their own family and in time became their own clan. But again, they are equal parts gangsters and necromancers.
Oh, that's very, very interesting.
Hello. It's lovely to see you again. You look fantastic as always.
Yeah.
Well,
Hi.
likewise.
Thank you. Who do I have the honor of speaking to at the moment?
Genevieve.
Ah, that's what I thought. Hello, Genevieve. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What? Well, I see you're a little confused, especially you, because I can tell you're young. You know how you have your tricks. You do your things. You get angry. You get strong. You get fast. All those things you've been doing as a brewer, huh? And he leans in real close and he goes, I got my tricks too. And I snap my fingers, and I'm going to use Summon Soul, and a wraith goes right up next to me.
Oh, you visibly see it manifest.
I saw that.
Yeah, you did. And I just, and it, I deal with things that are less living than us.
How come I haven't heard of your...
Well, that's a very good question. You see, my family, our family, doesn't generally hang around with the more commonly known clans. The Bruja, the Gangrel, the Ventru, the Tremere, the Nosferatu, the Malkavians. We don't hang around much in public. We like to keep things a little more subtle and run our business unimpeded. You'll run into us every once in a while. Now, I have ladles in many pots, as it were. And I have plenty of wonderful people who work for me who are very efficient. But sometimes I need somebody who, or a group of people, to do things for me that are not necessarily on the books and I shouldn't be seen doing. So, that's what you all are going to be for me. I'll give you orders from time to time. I'll give you jobs, and you'll complete them. How's that sound? Yes?
Yes.
Doesn't seem we have a choice.
It's an
No.
honor.
The Cam and the Anarchs won't bug us?
I have no control over them. They may still bug you. This doesn't change anything that could happen to you out in the world. You'll just be doing work for me.
I, for one, am excited.
Yeah, yes, Tiger Lily. What can I do for you?
How long does this stick around?
But I know how long that's stuck around.
As long as you want it to.
Yeah.
It is a shock
Yeah.
leash.
Yeah, that's just to make sure you comply.
I know you like to keep your dogs on leashes.
Most of my compatriots don't need leashes. They're much more well behaved. Now, that thing can go away. Easy as pie. But you have to show me you don't need it. And also, they can be applied. Easy as pie. You know, it really is good to see you, Valentina.
It's good to see you too.
I can't believe you all fell for her being a Ventru.
I was trying not to put the family name at
No,
risk.
I get it. You know,
We tend to not ask many questions.
I've gathered.
You did a wonderful job, by the way, dear.
Thank you.
And she wasn't forthcoming. She kept secrets
Mm-hmm.
properly.
Now, why don't you all go inside? I'm gonna have a little conversation with my friend Joey here. And then I'll get back to you when I have work for I'll point and show them towards the door that leads into the yacht.
And when you do that, the other suited man, because there's the scarred man who is Cray and the silent man who is Sullivan. Sullivan leans over and just opens the door. Yeah. And just stands next to it.
So walk into it immediately.
When
Get the hell out.
when you head that way, Cray looks at you, Genevieve, and says, "Good to see you again, Miss Genevieve. Lovely as always."
And she'll wink at him and try to be the last one out the door. And she'll turn back and
I'm trailing a little.
you're trailing a little. Out of the corner, she'll kind of lean in and try and catch the eye of Joey and Dom, and also give a little wink before she walks out.
Mm-hmm.
Before I go, I'll just turn to Dom and say, I'm sorry.
I know you are.
Whatever you need.
I know.
I do a quick wave of Joey and run out.
All right. As they scurry out, Joey and the boss, you have the deck.
They're a group of fuck-ups, aren't they?
Unbelievable.
Look, I'm gonna need, I mean, I got my ties on, but if you have somebody you can, when I do send them out, if you got somebody who can tail them.
Not a problem.
Okay, good. That'd be great. What have I got to do that I can send these?
You know this isn't like me.
No, please, please.
Could you not kill Valentina?
I'm not gonna kill
Okay.
Valentina.
I know she's a good kid.
No, I know. I'm not gonna kill her.
Okay. I don't know. She got a sweet spot in my heart.
I know.
The rest of them, you say the word.
Thanks. But there will be punishment. There can't not be.
Oh, yep. Absolutely.
You know, when you break the rules, punishment happens. It won't end in her unlife, but I'll think of something.
Understandable.
While you all are standing there talking, Joey and Dom, you hear a voice kind of echo from all directions, a voice you've heard before that says, isn't this such an interesting assemblage of talent here? And a man appears who you've dealt with many times, Dom. You do not control him. He is a figure of some stature on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
He is wearing black from head to toe. He's got jet black skin and white hair and a smile that is a little too big and teeth that are a little too white.
Right.
And he's like, Mr. Domitian, hello.
Hello. Do I know his name?
He never says it. You do know it,
Yeah.
but you do not speak
say
it. Yes. You're one of the few that knows his name.
It's good to see you.
And he looks at you, he's like, Joey, from one dweller in the shadows to another, always a fan of your work.
As am I to you.
He's like, I gotta tell you, these have been some interesting nights in Long Beach. I've been here a long time, and it hasn't been this exciting since, that battle that was back in the 18th something or other. I lose track of how you all count nights. But I realize you've got these ones by the short and curlies, and I might have something.
Oh, do you?
Maybe. Just let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And actually, this is a good time for us to take a little break. So we'll do 10 minutes. We'll come back at 20 minutes after, and we will continue through to the end of our episode. So this is the point where I literally have like 2 choices. One of the buttons even says the words break on it, and there's still a not insignificant chance I'm going to mess this up. So I'm going to attempt to take us to break, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
That's a double kill!
Active boy.
Hell. All right, so you all inside this deluxe and luxurious yacht on a silky smooth and uneventful trip through the Bay of Long Beach. You all make your way back inside, and as far as you can tell, you all are in this kind of palatial great room alone.
Everyone?
Joey and the boss are outside. It is the 5 of you are inside alone.
So, anything you'd like to tell us? The group?
What,
I feel like we've learned enough.
Yeah, weird. So about that meat, I'm just saying, it adds up.
I don't know who fucked with your company.
I know.
Well, good for you. Go get them.
I will.
What?
I'm just trying to figure out how. I understand what it's like to be tied to a family.
You're tied to her family right now.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
To have baggage. I understand what it feels like to have baggage, and I also understand what it feels like to pretend to be something you're not for a long time. And so I feel for you, but you have put us in a very difficult situation.
I did not put us here.
The second you entered St. Valentine's house, you put us here.
How do you two know each other?
First of all, I think you misunderstand. I love my family.
I didn't say you didn't love your family. I said your love for them doesn't change, that they're fucked up monsters, and that you have put us in this situation.
I did nothing. Joe even said when he found said nothing. He was surprised to find me there. I have nothing to do with your mistakes when we went out.
That is true.
Are you honestly saying that us being here tonight has nothing to do with you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're a bigger idiot than I thought you were.
My thoughts exactly.
I don't have to stay here with you.
Then don't.
But I
don't
feel
want
bad.
Oh God, I don't need your pity. I just need you to be straight with us for once. I don't know if you're lying to yourself as well, or if it's just your normal state of being that you can't say truth.
Is that a thing? Is that like a clan weakness?
No,
Like you're always a fucking liar?
No, I think it's a personal weakness.
Oh, right.
Sometimes truth is relative anyways.
I mean, clearly in this case the truth was relatives.
All I know is that as soon as this is gone, so am I.
God. I'm so sorry.
Sure, if you do the job well, it can be arranged or something.
Genevieve, you do know that what Valentina said is what Joey said, that he was there because of the mess that had been made, of the murder of the humans, of basically just the public displays, of the fact that people saw St. Valentine flying. Doesn't mean it's true, but it is what he said.
To be fair, there were quite a few masquerade breaches as well as unnecessary deaths that may have alerted several people in her family to, I don't know, not like us very much.
Well, if said person wasn't here, we would have upset their family.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have been in that car.
To be fair, I've been here for quite a while and you've yet to upset my family. Then again, you haven't eaten any of, my herd.
You don't have to take the vehicles they provide, but they sent you the letter to go after the drug.
And we did that, and he was happy about that.
That's all right.
That was actually from my family. As
That's
I said,
true. Do they know each other?
I don't think they're friends.
Are they the other thing?
Enemies?
Yeah.
We don't talk much.
Fair enough.
Let's just do this job, and then you don't have to stay with us.
I feel like you guys aren't looking at this properly. It's quite a bountiful opportunity with her family. They're very powerful.
Yeah, and they're promising us no protection. That's worse than, like, the Anarchs deal. And the Anarchs deal, as far as we could tell our last few months in San Diego, was like, nah, run around, do what you want. Like, this is a worse deal. This is practically as bad as the Cam. They wouldn't goddamn have me.
I mean, the boss said that we're just kind of middle of the road even with him right now. Who knows what he could do for us if we actually proved ourselves.
Yeah, but we asked, hey, do we get any protection from the Anarchs and Cam fucking with us? And no, we have to do the things because, like, we've apparently got to do the things now.
You prove yourself capable and loyal, and there will be great reward in the future. But first you must prove yourself trustworthy.
The far door. So one door would lead you back to where you know Joey and the boss are. This is the other side of the room. Someone knocks.
I'll get it.
When you open the door, there is a person standing there wearing a immaculate butler's uniform, but they are very clearly dead. Their skin is blue, their eyes are sunken. It is not a kindred with some bizarre clan bane. It's a corpse.
Did anyone order a White Walker?
And it's got a tray of glasses that you very clearly see have Vitae in it.
Wait. Vitae? Okay. I let him in.
And it walks evenly, but with some labor. It keeps the tray straight, and it just sort of like stares it non-specifically at nothing and just puts the tray down. And when it does, it just sort of turns right back, and when it gets to the room, it turns around and like very stilted grabs the handle, boom, closes the door.
Watch out for the Starks.
Does anybody else get that? I don't.
It's the wrong crowd.
It's been this 1992.
Valentina might. I will leave it up to you whether or not you both understand or care at this exact second about cultural illusions.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all just have never seen a basically zombie before, but that just happened.
This is him. No? Oh, yeah, that zombie.
Lula's gonna take a glass and go, you see what I said about powerful? I, for one, would really like to learn how to do that. Spend a lot of time helping Lula help the dead people. It'd be nice if they could, I don't know, do something for me for once?
You know what that is?
I'm gonna do sense the unseen on it.
Okay. Are you gonna check with your heightened senses, or would you like to sense the unseen, Vi, or any of your newly arrived at abilitas?
I'm gonna stick with Eyes of the Beast.
Okay.
Stick with my comforts for right now.
Well, specifically, what Eyes of the Beast will do is let you see in the dark. So basically, the bay would light up like it's noon, but would not necessarily reveal anything supernaturally hidden.
Then I'll just go heightened senses. Still not gonna do supernatural.
It smells like Vitae. Fresh, very fresh. You think whoever provided these goblets is not far away? Like they're probably 2 doors down, sort of like bled in these goblets and came straight to you. Yeah, it smells good.
This is a good opportunity to. I haven't been fixing that fucking thing. I'm gonna
just take it.
None of these are what you need.
Okay, they're not Vitae.
They're not what you need.
Fucking what?
Stan, it's like it's
Oh god.
Yeah.
Is it that thin? Because I
Oh no,
still
it's
if I have
not
enough.
that thin.
'Cause, like, I
no,
made that
mean,
work.
It's like water. I'm just trying not to name any brand of anything. I'm like yeah.
Yeah, this is like
You know,
the boy of.
You ever had that? You ever had coffee when you put in the 1 pack, but it's as much water as three packs worth of water and 1 pack of coffee?
I'll translate to tea and say yes.
Yes, it's hot leaf juice.
It's your 4th cup of tea with the same bag.
Yes,
Oh.
it's just it really just makes you mad more than anything. All of you give me wits and insight.
I
Why?
got 3 successes on Sense the Unseen.
Besides just the ambient terror that permeates this place, there is nothing special about this blood. One. Okay. Wits in it, not
No,
Reese.
yeah,
It's
no,
to notice
it's
something
about
about
me.
Reese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
get
need
it
to do
for
it.
One.
I don't need to do it.
Oh, so you know.
I
One.
know.
Yeah.
One.
What are you at?
Genevieve, you notice when Reese picks up the glass, they don't drink it and they seem stressed out.
Could I help you?
Could you be more specific? The fuck? No.
I mean, I'm just trying to help.
Did we see this happen?
Oh yeah, this is all right in front of you.
Just watching.
No, this entire exchange, you're all
Yeah,
right
Reese
there.
picked it up, kind of sniffed it, and put it back down.
No.
Same kind of idea.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That happens very much in front of you.
Do you lead animal?
Look, some of us have our own thing, and we're kind of picky about it, right?
Well, what is
It's
yours?
in our interest to keep you not hungry.
I'm not. I really am not.
Alquist, do recall, on the Queen Mary, Vi asked you to give blood to Reese. That did happen. You denied it, which got you put almost through the hull of the ship.
No, the lying to a thing we knew to be fake and continue to lie to my face got put through the hole of the ship.
Por que no dos?
In that case, I retract my statement.
Right.
I stay quiet.
Oh, okay.
Just saying, it is something you've observed.
No, it's true. It's true, it's not false.
How are we to help you in the future?
They're fine.
Then you won't mind if I drink yours?
Okay.
What? Oh no, I thought about it for a
No,
hot second.
contextually, it's 50-50, yeah.
It took me. It took Reese a hot moment, and then slides the.
Yeah.
You do
I
drink
said
it?
what I said. Yeah, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
drink both of them because I assume they're both worth a dot.
It's, yes.
And I'll give mine.
Right. It's magnificent.
I want to
Clean.
pull Reese aside.
Clean, fresh.
I'm
Yes.
telling you, this Italian blend is fantastic.
It
You
is.
don't know what you're missing.
Sorry, you're just gonna get bonded to someone you don't even know. It's weird. But hey, it's on you.
Yes,
Go pull
Alquist,
Reese
you pull
aside.
Reese aside, uh-huh.
Here, I'll just.
That'll.
Do you drink Kindred?
All right. So,
Yeah.
you fucking weirdo.
No. Hopefully nobody can hear me, right?
I mean, it's a
Yeah,
sign.
but
I would
Like,
not.
wait,
I
oh,
would
wait,
not
wait. Hold on,
let
hold
you
on. Like,
pull
secret,
Reese
secret.
like
Also, I
aside
think
and
you
not
have
be
to-
nearby.
I mean, I would say Vi stays nearby because they're helicopter right now. And quite frankly, the two of you probably need to talk anyway. So yes, they
I
let
assume
you.
we're not listening, but I assume I see.
Right.
Yeah, you might
You
see
very
Reese
much
just
see
like
this
pull away
exchange,
with
yeah.
a kind of what fuckery.
This is not the place to have this conversation. This is not
Listen,
the place to
just
have this.
listen. I will help.
Okay, not right now.
I understand what you're saying.
No, fucking get up.
Not later.
This fucking
okay?
dog's in your everything.
Later.
Genevieve, you notice a moment where you could have a word with Valentina if you so chose.
Would you like to step aside?
Certainly.
Excellent.
Kind of duck off.
Just in the hallway.
When you open the door and you go out, you see in the hallway there is a row of about 6 zombies wearing all sorts of like maitre d' uniforms, there's maid outfits and stuff, and they all look immaculate besides being very dead. And when you come into the hallway, they all sort of scatter. They just open the nearest door and just kind of get out of the way and close the doors behind them.
I assume they do not know you the way I do.
No. I tend to stay to myself when the others talk as well. The others there and the others here. I'm just the quiet, unassuming one that no one ever expects.
Of course, yes. I will not let them know. Don't worry.
I appreciate that. And I will continue to keep an eye out for you, as promised.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Joey, time to round them up.
Walk right into the door.
You all see Joey, you hear the clap.
Step back in.
You all ready for your first mission?
Why not?
Put my hand right on his shoulder. A little tighter than it should. Good, my friend. You all are doing great. You all are doing great. You haven't made me want to kill you, I mean, maybe half dozen times, so that's great. That's great for all of you. Let's do this. And I walk them back into the room.
Back out onto the deck.
Back onto the deck. And when I walk up to Dom, I reach in, light his cigarette, put it back in my pocket, and stand behind him.
He doesn't flinch at the light.
Well, I hope you all had some time to chat while we were figuring things out. So, I have your first adventure. Now, as I stated before, I've had some business practices, business ventures that have been halted a little bit recently. One of them has been halted by a certain group of people. 3 to be exact. I don't know if you know them at all. The name's Titan, Mammoth, and last one is Dion, maybe? I believe they're a family of yours. Now they're causing some problems for me. They seem to be rather intent on causing a loud ruckus that's drawing attention from both sides.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
I'd like you to get them to stop.
By what means?
Whatever means you see fit, and gets them to stop making a ruckus and causing problems for me and my business.
So you just need them to back off.
Precisely.
What exactly are they doing to the business?
My business requires quiet and subtlety. They're making loud noises. They're making explosions. They're causing the Camarilla and the Anox to be very interested in fighting with one another. I'd like them to stop doing what they're doing. However you see fit to stop them from doing that, I don't really care.
Is your issue that they're doing it here or that they're doing it at all?
I mean, if they want to go do it in Africa, I don't care. But I'd like them to stop doing it where I have interests, which is anywhere between here and Florida and up to Washington and all over the place.
And if we do this quietly and take care of this problem, You'll take care of this problem?
It is a high possibility.
Okay.
Reese, when you're listening, the scarred man, Cray, sort of steps forward and he's like, boss, with your permission.
Yeah.
He turns and he looks at you. He's like, you seem a little twitchy, fella. You sure you're all right?
I'm fine.
No, he says this to Reese.
I know.
Okay.
You know, I'm sure you can respect I'm not in a lot of rooms where I can't beat up everyone. Makes me twitchy. It's not a problem.
Hey.
Just my fault.
He sort of turns his head and looks at Joey and the boss and is like, yeah, I also don't find myself in a lot of rooms that I can't beat up everyone either. And he sort of takes a step back closer to the railing and still stands there with his hands crossed in front of them, but very much like eyes on Reese. And when he gets this close, you can kind of see like the scarring in his face is almost like down to the bone in places, in the muscle.
I've seen what like a 9-foot monster guy's claw would do.
Mm-hmm.
Does it fit that description? Like, what vibe am I getting off
The
of that?
scar, it is a burn, and it is the same burn that Valentina has. The same markings that are on her shoulder is on his face.
Ah.
You know, I noticed that one didn't feed.
Oh, yeah? Was my hospitality not to your liking?
I think we're all good.
I found it to be exquisite.
The only way for me to fill up would be to do something I know all too well not to do to someone else's hurt. So, that's all. That's all. That's all.
Reese is very capable on the field. Be a good asset in the future.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure you all could be. But, as I've said, I need help with this problem first. Now, as I said, I don't really care how you deal with them, but I would like them to stop interfering. They tend to make things difficult and make people look very closely, which I don't like.
Of course.
Understand we have a little bit more of a precaution other than letting you go out with a little parting gift. There will be people watching you. They're going to stay off to the side. They're not going to be involved. But no, the second you all fuck up, they'll be there to take care of you so that the family's taken care of.
Thank you.
Genevieve. Oh, no, please, you.
Now, Genevieve has been kind enough to keep me somewhat abreast of the situation that you have been involving yourselves in over the last couple days, which is how I know that your family's been the one doing these things. Because up until this point, it had been real annoying having these faceless kindred fuck up my plans. So I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
So, Tiger Lily, I leave it up to you to direct the rest of these people to pacifying your family members.
Do what I can.
I would appreciate it.
Are we done here?
Genevieve, when Vi says the words, "Are we done here?" in one of your pouches, where Lula keeps her tarot cards and stuff, you feel just a warm it starts to feel like it's warm, in fact, but then it starts to feel really cold. Like if you've ever put your hand in water so hot that it actually felt cold more than hot, like it actually like, shorted out your nerves.
I'm gonna feel around it and pull out whatever it is.
Inside, there's a very large coin. You might recall it is the coin that King Luminous Dro gave Lula right before you all departed. In the midst of all of the insanity, honestly, you'd completely forgotten all about it. And as you look at it, frost is forming all over it and forming all over your hand.
Oh. Does anyone else see this?
Yes, you all see, with your bare naked eyes, see frost forming all over the coin, all over her hand, starting to fall out to the floor. And you hear a voice coming from all directions at once. It says, knock, knock.
Oh, that can't be good.
I'm sorry, what?
Can I come in?
My dear, would you mind explaining what is going on right now with that thing in your hand?
Joey, you did successfully negotiate and have yet to have a chance to inform the boss.
Oh, no.
It's been a busy night.
I can explain that one.
Slowly back away.
Yeah, Vi, you have no clue what any of this is.
I managed to get ourselves in a more better position. We've got some dealings with the Fae. We've got some connections now.
Do we?
We do. King himself managed to have an audience. We managed to have a nice little chat while they were swimming this one out of the river.
Okay.
That's probably him wanting to meet.
He did give Lula this coin, which I assume is how he's here now. All the way, this is terribly cold. Someone might want to let him in. This is very
By all means, let him out onto the boat.
Genevieve, as you sort of look at this coin, because again, it was literally given to you on the way out the door to retrieve Vi, so you didn't really even take the time to look at it, honestly, or Lula didn't. You would have been far more conscientious, but Lula. As you look at it, on the coin, there is a tree, a very large tree. And around it, there's like a wheel spinning. And you see the tree blooms and the leaves are bright. There's fruit growing on it of almost every kind and variety. And as the wheel continues to spin, the leaves start to shrivel up and the fruit falls off of it and falls to the ground and rots. And everything around it starts to get blacker and darker all around it. And you see King Luminous Dro sitting on his throne. And it is summertime, and he's beautiful, and everyone's dancing and having a wonderful time, and everything just starts to get darker and darker and darker. And he comes into sharper and sharper focus as everything around him starts to wither away and fade. And he's like, is that a yes?
I'd love to see the mint for this coin. Is that a yes?
Yes, come in, whoever you are.
The coin falls out of your hand on the ground. And right in the middle of the deck, it's like a circle of ice begins to form outwards. And out of it, this entity stands up, which you all saw at the ball as King Luminous Dro. He is, now that he's standing up, he is probably nearly 7 feet tall, especially including his crown, and he is almost impossibly thin and waif-like. His skin is very pale. He looks almost frostbitten, and he's got very long, flowing white hair. But his clothes are immaculate regalia of somebody that basically is very much winter-themed. And when he takes a step out, you see a small person with a red cap, not the same one you saw before. It looks like a different individual, scrambles out of the hole and leans down on the deck, and he steps on its back. And then he takes another step forward, and another small person that looks like a satyr, not fawn, scrumbles out and like kneels down on the deck. And he steps on its back too and says, Joey, hello.
Welcome.
You all have the pleasure of observing me again, and this must be the boss.
That is what some refer to me as, yes.
How should I properly address one of an equal station? And he breaks a leg to bow. And when he does, a third person scrambles out of the hole and basically like catches his foot before it hits the deck. And he's sort of like,
You can refer to me as Domaton.
Domaton. I'm King Luminous Dro of the Shadow Court of the Fae. You, boss, have dealt with these creatures before. You don't know this individual, but you know exactly what they're about.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if your man here, Joey, who negotiated quite fiercely, he was very intimidating in our talks, has expressed to you that we found a way to have an accord of some sort.
No, I hadn't had a chance to talk to Joey about it yet, but I'm sure he did wonderful work.
I understand what it's like to have fingers in a number of pies.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
And he turns and looks at you, Valentina, and when he does, his eyes actually turn solid white. It's like, did you send the message I requested yet?
Not yet. I still have to do it. I haven't had time.
You talk different now. Doesn't she talk different now? And he looks down at one of the ones that is under his feet, and they're all like, oh yeah, no, that wasn't what her accent was before. Sir, not at all. And like their face are physically pressed against the decks of the ship here.
I am so sorry. It's a little game I like to play. Is this what you
It's a
prefer?
folly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will get that letter delivered as soon as we can, yes.
Yes, I don't like waiting.
So sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come into your domain and start ordering your people about. It was a previous conversation.
Right.
And yet.
King,
Yeah.
what can I help you with?
Oh, I just heard that you had this wonderful contraption. I've not seen its like since sailing the high seas of Arcadia, long since lost. And when he says lost, all of the other three are like, like they cry on command.
You came all this way to see my yacht?
And to present myself before you, of course.
I see.
And perhaps to gaze upon these lovely creatures again. You especially were quite a hit at the ball.
Why, I do thank you, my king.
He's like, perhaps you could return again. And you, I don't believe I had the pleasure. And he holds his hand out to you, Vi.
No, you didn't.
Like, you don't, do you hold your hand back out?
Don't be rude to the king.
When you don't, he points at your chest and says, I think that attitude's what got you into this mess, isn't it?
Actually, was it?
Everyone's so aggressive. I love it. We didn't meet either. I met this face, but not these eyes.
You met Lula.
Yes.
I'm Genevieve.
Nice to meet you, Genevieve.
Wonderful to meet you too.
Yes. I would just say to you, boss.
Yeah.
I too hold court here that you all don't know, because I suppose no one's told you that all of Long Beach is what we call a freehold. It's like a kingdom. And when he says that, you all hear simultaneously, I guess everybody thinks they run this fucking town, don't they? And the Shadow Man appears again on the deck of the ship, standing there. He's like, it's like a fucking Russian doll of kingdoms and kingdoms and kingdoms and rulers and rulers and bosses.
So who's the big Matryoshka doll then?
He's like, well, they all think they're immortal. I actually am. And Luminous looks at him and says, oh, what manner of creature is this? What an interesting assemblage we have here today.
An associate of mine.
Oh. Joey, you didn't tell me there was other associates.
Well, we can't tell each other everything now, can we?
Probably not. I didn't even know this asshole could see me.
But we can all see.
Oh, you all physically see all of this. The Shadow Man is physically there.
There's a person I can see.
Yeah, and Luminous is physically here also. Yeah.
Sorry, Luminous, did you specify who you wanted me to bring that letter to exactly?
And when you say that, the Shadow Man's like, oh, here it goes, getting interesting. He's sort of like, Luminous shoots him a look and then looks around at the rest of you, and he's like, that way. He motions like roughly towards the valley. He's like, we don't go up that way. It's so barbaric and so much violence up there. I detest violence, you must know. There's a group of your kind that are working on some sort of ritual. Pala Grande, I believe it's called. And they're going to be doing it for All Hallows Eve, Samhain, as we refer to it in our circles. And that is our night. That is the night when I'm king of everything. I mean, I'm king of this currently, of course. But everything is mine as an unseelie fae. And when he says that, for a split second, he comes into very sharp focus. And his muscles get bigger and his eyes get brighter. And he clearly comes to life for a second. And then sort of tones back down again. It's like, oh, I've forgotten myself. But yes, that's our night. And I want you to tell those naughty kindred that is our night.
Of course.
You are connected with them somehow. I see this. And he motions towards your scar. Mm-hmm. You've been around them. I don't know what their names are. You all have names, don't you?
If I may interject, I believe I can help you, Valentina. Occasionally Lula goes up to do readings in the valley. I was just there with her recently, and someone had mentioned such a thing.
Oh, and the Shadow Man goes, Lula gets around, all right.
She tries to keep it hush-hush, though.
Oh, yeah, it'd be wrong of me to just air everyone's dirty laundry. And he very much looks at Vi and Reese. Secrets make the world go round, you'd say, right?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I love this shit. I love watching you all play chess and who's gonna cut what deal with who and promise what to who and double cross who. I'm just a spectator, you might say. Call me a fan. If you had a jersey, I'd wear it.
Sit back, we're in the middle of the Sicilian defense.
No. I got an idea for a logo. What about a fucking dumpster that's on fire? And when he says that, literally on his chest, a picture of a dumpster that's on fire appears. He's like, no disrespect to you, of course. This isn't your doing.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
So in modern internet culture, a dumpster fire.
Right.
I want to get real close to them.
Yeah.
I educate.
So.
Yes.
Dumpsters aren't on the internet.
I appreciate you traveling all this way just to make my acquaintance.
Yes.
It was very kind of you. Is there anything else? And as much as I am happy to have met you, anything else I can help you with this evening?
Well, it's come to my attention that some of my subjects were disrupting business. I apologize, Joey. I didn't know that we were making things terrible for you. They just like to have a bit of fun, or get a bit of folly.
Right.
But I just wanted to, one, apologize, regent to regent.
Right.
And make a small request.
Oh, yes, and what would that be?
He starts walking again, and when he lifts his foot, each one of them like scrambles to get under his foot again. And you would swear that when he puts his foot down, he twists the boot just a little bit. Yeah. Every step forward that he takes, they're like, to make sure he doesn't touch the deck.
But he doesn't like violence.
He only says true things.
He gets just out of arm's reach.
Right.
He's like, I've heard that you possess power over life and death itself. And when he says that, the shadow man just goes,
it could be said like that. Some people refer to it as that.
Could I request a demonstration? If you need to kill someone, take any of these. And he motions towards his feet, and they all look terrified, but don't move. He's like, I personally cannot do such a thing. Now, I can do things like this. And when he does that, it's daylight. You don't burn. But it just looks like you're in a sunny clearing on a wonderful, nice day. You hear birds singing. You feel the wind on your face. It's warm.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I assume you haven't.
So, you want a demonstration?
Oh, yes. And when he says that, it's gone. You're back on the deck of the boat.
You want a demonstration of something that I can do that would look like the power over life and death?
I humbly request. Again, I understand that I'm in your domain. I would make no demands.
No, of course not.
Simply ask. Yes.
All right. I look at at the red cap near his foot.
He's like,
my friend, would you mind coming over here for a moment?
He sort of looks at you for a second, and you very much see like his lip starts to pull back, like to reveal particularly sharp teeth that you wouldn't expect from something so small. And the king just sort of jams the boot down in a little, and he gets up and he's like, and he walks right into the middle, and he like very much like his chest is like flared. He's about 3 feet tall, and he's like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, I'm ready. Show me something, sir, sir, yes, your highness-ish.
I just go, well, this isn't going to be the most comfortable thing, and I do soul stealing, where I just take his soul out of him.
And you all see it's like he's dipped in bleach. He goes from being a very colorful, vibrant thing to basically pale. And his body falls to the ground, and you see the floating soul of the red cap, like, look down, and like it tries to open its mouth, but it can't say anything.
Is this what you were talking about?
Oh, yes! That is delightful.
Isn't it, though?
And the Shadow Man also looks and goes like, I must say it's masterful. You pluck them like that, right? Yeah.
Well, we don't need to make anything permanent, and I use demonic possession to stuff it back into his body.
And it very much is like, and he sort of like takes a second to collect itself, and you see it's like, and the king taps the back of its head with his foot, and he's like, and he like kind of comes back down on all fours, and he comes forward slightly and puts his foot on his back.
And I just lean up and go, thank you.
And he's like down on the ground like that.
I never get used to that one.
That's amazing.
Was that what you were looking for?
Absolutely. Well, you have answered my request. I just wanted you to know that I'm at your disposal. Your man Joey knows how to find us now.
Oh, perfect. I do appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. I do hope you all make it back for the pageant. It's ongoing, of course. You didn't even get to partake of our wares.
Not really my scene.
Oh, it can be whatever scene you like. I mean, you're into horses, I'll bring centaurs.
I'm fine. Thank you.
When you say I'm fine, thank you, he like looks at you for a second and you see like his brow starts to furrow and he physically gets darker. And he's like, again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just about to send them on an errand that's rather time sensitive, so maybe another time.
Yes, again, respect's in your domain.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah. And he turns and he starts walking towards the edge of the ship, actually. And they keep scrambling and trying to get in front of him and scrambling to try and get in front of him. And he steps up right on almost on the rail, and one of them puts his head in the way to get stepped on. And he steps right off the side. And when he does, you see a huge hand that was just under the railing. And he steps on it. And a large head comes up and sort of looks over the top at all of you while he's standing on it.
Impressive.
He's like, yes, I like to travel in style as well. Away, dilly dilly. And it turns, and this gigantic creature starts wading through the ocean, which comes up to about chest height. You know you're out deep enough for this super yacht, so this is big. And it just starts walking back towards the shore. And like Luminous is just standing there like this while the wind, you see him like reorient so the wind is blowing perfectly through his hair as he walks away.
That man is very extra.
The Shadow Man turns and looks and he's like, like I said, fucking fascinating. And he disappears too.
Hey, boss.
Yes, Joey.
I think we should maybe get a hold of that coin. Maybe it being out and about and all over the place isn't the best decision.
It's yours if you would like it.
Go ahead.
I reach over and I grab it. Is it still cold?
It is not cold, and when you pick it up now, it just seems like tin. It's still roughly pressed.
Sure.
With the outline of a tree, but it seems now it's almost like a child's toy.
Just in case.
No, that's very correct, and I would love to discuss the terms of the agreement you made with him at a later date.
Absolutely.
So, that was exciting.
Right.
Now, there's one thing I do have to deal with. Valentina, you wouldn't happen to have a firearm on you, would you?
No, I don't, but
I do.
I can get.
We
You
all
do?
do if you'd like, for the most part.
Would you mind lending it to me for a moment?
I pull out my nickel butt peacemaker and hand it down.
I do appreciate it. Valentina, would you hold this for me?
Yes.
I'm going to use Terminal Decree.
Yeah.
Would you please fire that into your thigh, please?
Yeah. Yep. Immediately.
Do you possess Rationalize?
I do.
Valentina, you know you had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
You all see a significant hole blown into Valentina's leg.
I take the gun back. Thank you very much for its use.
You know it will heal, but it will hurt every second until then.
Now, thank you all very much for being here, and you do have the job that I've asked you to do. So, be on your way.
I would like one
quick word with you before we go, if that's all right, without the others, if that's possible.
It's fine by me. I'll see you soon, Valentina.
I'll slip under her arm a little bit and carry some of the weight.
You notice when you go towards her, Cray, the scarred man, tenses for a split second, but when he sees you're helping, kind of eases up.
I catch eyes with him, just like. I should just end up kind of picking you off the ground just a little bit so your leg isn't making weight bearing. You don't weigh anything.
Try to look as fine as possible as I do so.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Just a scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of the other guys take them too, and I stay behind.
Mm-hmm. Sullivan, who again has not said a word, opens the door. Motion, and when you guys see, when he opens the door this time, you all see the undead waitstaff waiting in there. And when they see you, when the door opens, again, they open the door and they scatter. They very quickly just get out of sight.
Yeah.
Like roaches. Dead crowd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Genevieve, you find yourself alone with Joey and the boss.
So, Dom,
Yes.
you understand, I've been watching Valentina and this group for you for quite a while now. How much longer until our deal can come to fruition? That wonderful trick you just did with that gnome thing.
Right.
When do I get to be separated from Lua?
You know, I do appreciate the work you've been doing, and I value it greatly. I do need you to hang on a little while longer, though. But
They're so obnoxious, though. You
I
don't understand.
know.
Lula's so squeaky, and she never shuts up.
Trust me, it'll be happening soon. I will pull you out of there, and I will throw you into a body of your very own.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. But I need you to do it a little while longer.
I suppose that's all right. That's
Why?
fine.
You don't have time? You're gonna expire soon?
You make valid points. valid points. I guess that's all for now.
Well,
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
For the benevolence.
And we will be in touch. It was nice to see you, Genevieve.
Good to see you too.
Do you all make your way out? Cray guides you back to the boat. And when you get to the boat, you see the boat you rode in on, of course. When you get to the back, again, the Shadow Lord is still there in the back, very much like looking. And when you come, and looks down at Valentina's leg. And he sort of like makes eye contact with you for a second, but then like looks away. And Cray says, this'll take you back to the shore. And he looks at you, Vi, and he's all like, this whole thing, it's not personal, it's just business.
I feel like I've heard that a lot lately.
He's like, well, tell me if you've heard this then. And he takes a step closer to you. And he's like, you sell us out to your family of fucking freaks and I'll pop your head like a zit. Like I said, just business. And turns and walks back towards the boat. And he's like, oh, yeah. Tough guy. He's like, I appreciate your restraint here. It really wasn't the time to pop off, honestly. But,
Pretty good at keeping a lid on it.
you want to book an appointment for us to hold court in the street? You just name the time and the place, all right?
I lean over just a little bit. I've had a history of taking care of problem kindred if the boss needs that service. Let him know.
He just sort of goes like, oh, I've misread all of this. You know what? I'm going to do you a favor too. And he's like, let me tell you something.
I'm gonna just get Valentina settled a quick moment, given that I've been physically supporting her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He leans into your ear and he's like, I misunderstood you. Now I'm gonna keep your secret. Vice too. He leans back and he looks at you and he's like, ghosts know the most interesting things about people. And winks at you.
Obliged. See you on the streets.
When he says that, for a split second, you get over his shoulder the faintest glimpse of the face of the man you killed at Dr. Cornelius's house. He looks like he's bound in chains and being tormented, but it's him. And he's like, oh, yeah. Be seeing you, fella. And he turns and he walks back into the boat. Now.
Doing all right, Valentina? Sorry, I had to put you down for a sec. I got it?
I'm fine.
Of course.
As you all, presumably, Genevieve makes her way back?
Yeah, probably walking up right about now.
Mm-hmm. All right, then.
So I'm with the boss right now.
Uh-huh.
So I've got one more request.
Okay.
Do you mind if I watch over them?
No, I don't mind particularly, but I know how to get a hold of you should I need you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead.
That's it.
Okay. As the boat puts back out and is making its way across, Reese, you hear. Psst, 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 psst.
I don't look anywhere. I just take the marble out of my shirt pocket and hold it up and put it back in. And look up into the air.
And you hear, oh yeah. And that is a good place for us to stop for the day.
Oh my God. For the day.
I guess now's as good a time as any to say, you know what? I feel bad that you've been a strong boy and we have not got to dive too deeply into your strong boyness because there's been stronger boys. So
The strongest.
I will let you be the one that tells everybody.
They said, like a Hanukkah miracle, it was only going to last 4 episodes, but now we are going to extend Long Beach by night. You liked it. You wanted more of it. We're doing it. The garbage fire continues to burn bright.
I thought it was a dumpster fire.
Also, so dumpsters are a species, like, whereby garbage is contained. I'll explain the whole thing.
I never considered dumpsters a species.
You know what? At the World of Darkness,
they're called kindred.
I've said so many incorrect things.
Yes, same is correct. We are extending the run from 4 to 8. So the next 4 Sundays, which is November 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, we're going to do 4 more. So, okay, come back. Noon, yes. And I promise Reese will get to do strong boy stuff.
Strong boys.
Which never has consequences, as we just saw. Never.
Literally no negative repercussions to any of this. So, yes, let's give it
Nothing
real
we
quick.
do has consequences.
One last time, who we are and where to find you.
I'm Jacob. You can find me on Twitter at IndigoQT or anywhere on this channel since, my baby.
I'm D'Artagnan, and you can find me at Dom Italiano at literally every single social.
Hi, I'm Ash. You can find me on Instagram at astronaut44 or on Twitter at moonclad_ash or here on Sundays or at the Alamo Draft House doing really fun gaming events.
I'm Sam Phillip. You can find me on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky. All of the stuff that I do on Twitch is up there, but in particular, please check out later today at 5 p.m. PDT on Saving Throw Show's Twitch. It's Tempting Fate, the show full of shenanigans, and today we are playing Good Omens. And not only that, this is the first time that Tempting Fate has had a Big Boy sponsorship. We are giving away book bundles from Neil Gaiman, sponsored by Dark Horse. Please come support it, and then sponsors will continue to love us, and we can continue to just like put
Shenanigans.
absolutely unnecessary but very strictly necessary puppers in every IP.
I am Melee, Melee Damage at all the socials. I played Lula. Let's see, what do I do besides... Oh, yeah, I had an album drop 2 days.
Yeah!
That's the thing. Thank you, Josephine. Josephine is my brain today.
Beat the System is the name of the album.
Beat the System is the name of the band.
Yes.
Journey
is the name of the album.
As opposed to Journey's new album, Beat the System.
If you type it into
Which could
Google, you
also
get
be
where
a
you're
thing.
supposed to go.
I do a great Steve Perry. But yeah, go check that out. It's available on Spotify, iTunes. You can listen to it. You can download it. I also have
Rolled out something else.
I did. I just rolled out a Patreon. So if you guys would like to sign up for that, we do behind the scenes stuff of our Elder Scrolls streaming. I do behind the scenes things where I learn how to talk properly. And then on top of that, lots of other things to do with gaming and music and streaming and things like that.
Hi, Josephine. You can find me at JCVIM, as in magnificent. I was looking at Alquist. I got those vibes. What?
Did you forget your last name?
I didn't forget my last name.
She did. Wording is hard, y'all.
I could have said M from Macadam. I see what you're saying.
It's almost like that's what the M stands for.
Ooh.
Everywhere. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and yes, just keep up with shenanigans there. I don't have anything specific to promote.
Very special guest
You were
here.
great. You were great.
Yeah.
Vampire Daddy.
I get different ones.
Always weird toxic relationships. I'm here for it.
My name is Alexander Ward. You can find me on Twitter at AlexWard777. And you can also find me on Twitch at AlexWard777.
Oh, can I promote?
Sure, yeah.
If both Alex and I get 400 subs by the end of the month, we're going to do a pumpkin carving stream as Jasper and Eva.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you know what you have to do. So is your Twitch?
On our Twitch channel.
The Twitches are the same as
Carve the
our...
pumpkins!
Both of our Twitches are the same as our Twitter
Well,
handles,
how many subs are you at right now?
I think we're halfway through 300 or something like that.
You're halfway there!
Internet,
I'm so close.
I've called upon you. I summon you by name, Internet. Do this thing.
We're very close.
At B. Dave Walters, a couple of things. McStabber Studios, our friends over at Twitch, McStabber Studios, they're going live basically now because we ran over. So if you want more vampire, yeah, they're doing vampire things now. So they don't hear the shout out, but here's the shout out, McStabber Studios. Also, patreon.com/B. Dave Walters. A lot of these adventures have hooked into this, and a lot of the things that they're alluding to are things that have happened in our game and in our 24-hour Discord. It was also announced that I'm going to be joining the main cast of Heroes of the Veil. So November 6th, we'll be doing the Dungeons and the Dragoning at 2 o'clock PST, and I'm sure I forgot about something, but that'll do us here. So again, thank you guys for coming along with us on this adventure. Again, that's why we got 4 more episodes because of you.
I forgot something.
Oh yes, there's another thing.
I'm gonna be here tomorrow at 7 o'clock playing a brand new game of Call of Cthulhu.
Yay!
GM'd by Joseph Limbaugh.
Dr. Cornelius, for those of you that are familiar.
Cornelius.
Do you Geist? When is the next Geist? Is there a next Geist?
Yes, we have another 4 episodes of Geist. That's at 6:30 on this channel on Fridays, PDT, 6:30 p.m.
So really, there's just too
We
much
have
good stuff.
we have a lot of stuff going on.
That's the game where I see
Go back
ghosts.
to this
Right.
channel
This
all
is
the
the game where
time.
there are ghosts, but I can't see them.
Correct. Important point of clarification.
Yeah.
Again, speaking as someone who also cannot see ghosts in my game, it is a significant hindrance.
Fucking wrong.
So, right.
So let's
I
do
can't
something
see them
different.
either.
So let's hit the break
got
button,
friends.
and I'm actually going to raid McStabber Studios.
Hey! All right, where we're going to attack. So hang on, and here we go. And we'll see y'all right back here next week noon. Bye!
Bye.